The National STOL Series is presented by Vlad Gardner Aviation Insurance. For all your insurance needs, aviation protected. Legend Aircraft, not your grandfather's Cub. Duke Propellers, offering a wide variety of carbon-made propellers and rotors. AirTech Coatings, let us show you how we make paint fly. USATrailersDirect.com, find your perfect trailer, we have it all. Your #1 source for trailers in the United States. Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance, the #1 aircraft avionics installer in the nation. Lift Aviation, leading innovation in aviation apparel and equipment. Rugged Radios, the official communications provider of National STOL. FlightHelmet.com, fly with safety and comfort, leave the noise behind. McFarlane Aviation Products, thousands of parts, save thousands of dollars. Flight Outfitters, for all your National STOL gear and apparel. Flying Eyes, specialized sunglasses for pilots by pilots. Special thanks to local community sponsors: Jeff Davis Parish Tourist Commission, Coushatta Tribe, ETR Jet Center, Avi Nation, Dispatch Aviation. And now, live from Jennings, Louisiana, here's your host, Ryan Dembrowski and Colonel Matthew Peterson. Welcome to Swamp STOL.
Welcome to Swamp STOL 2023. I'm Ryan Dembrowski.
And I'm Colonel Matthew Peterson.
The Colonel's here. We're back again. Yes. Very different from the first time. Yeah, let's high five about it. Very different from the first time I was here. It was a little hot. Now look, I'm in 3 layers. I'm in 3 layers, and I'm still cold, folks.
I don't mean to brag, but you notice I've got a very nice jacket here. I'm just going to give a little shout out.
You're looking good today. I'm looking a little underprepared for being a Wisconsinite. But yeah, we're here. Swamp STOL 2023, Swamp STOL Trois. So let's talk a little bit about how this works. So we talk a lot about spot landing competitions. That's something that pilots do. They have spot landing competitions. You go to your home airport, you fly a little bit, and land as close as you can to a line. People measure how far you land. You don't have to stop. You just roll through. That's cool, and that's what I do at my home airport. But this is that turned up to like 100.
Yes.
So tell you what, why don't we split it in half? I'll do the takeoff part, and then you tell me the landing part. So the takeoff part is a little easier. That's why I took it. Competitors will taxi up to that white line you see. See where the national STOL flags are. They'll taxi up to that white line, wait for the go-ahead from the line judge. The air bosses say, yep, go ahead. You'll hear a roar of throttle. It'll be very exciting.
All of it.
All of the throttle.
You're putting it to the firewall.
The pilots will then commence takeoff, and the goal is to take off as short as possible. That's why it's short, takeoff, and landing. Line judges and cameras will assess the distance from when those main wheels leave the ground, and then they'll enter the traffic pattern, coming back to do the landing.
That's right. In that traffic pattern, we decided at the safety meeting that 500 feet would be our maximum altitude. You'll see most of the pilots hanging out around 300 feet. Always with safety in mind, their left-hand pattern out of the grass strip, staying over the runway at all times so that we don't fly over the great city of Jennings, which I just can't say enough good things about. You can hear more about that later on the broadcast. Then they make their left-hand turn, and you use the words commence.
Commence.
I like that. They commence to taking off. Well, when they make that base to final, they'll come in and they'll commence to landing. And the goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to, 1, not scratch. If they land short of the line, it is a scratch. And you will see Lexi Duncan, our line judge, and she'll put her arms like this.
Yep, she's just getting in position right now, getting ready.
Right. So that would be a scratch, and you'll see her do that. And then the crowd's going to go, oh, and everybody will be very disappointed. That score won't count. But if they land on the line or just past it, they slam on the brakes, stop that aircraft as fast as they can. I don't think anybody here has a beta prop, so nobody's going to be reversing the thrust on their prop, but they're going to have to use just the brakes and stop as soon as they can, And then the judges, the line judges, are all volunteer line judges, are going to measure that distance, and that's their second score.
And we add those together.
You add those together, that's your total score. Now of course, and Ryan and I talk about this all the time, there's a lot of mental game that goes on here, because if you scratch, your first score doesn't count. So Ryan, if you make a great takeoff and you scratch,
no go.
No go.
And here's
it doesn't
the thing.
matter.
Every pilot scratches. Even you're going to see at the unlimited class towards the end of the day, those greats, those legends of STOL. And there's legends of STOL in every class.
So we do have some highlights from yesterday. So we want to take a look at some of that.
Let's check out some highlights from yesterday. Everyone get pumped. Stay warm. The more energized you are in the crowd, the warmer you will be. Let's roll this video.
This is the first National STOL event. I vowed I would never compete. I'm like, it's not for me. And I still say I'm not competing. I'm in the rookie class, just the most laid back class. There's no regulation on what kind of plane you have or anything else.
So the touring class, it used to be just touring airplanes, and now that we've switched around the classes, because the 170Bs would always win, so they ended up putting us in the Bush class, which it's a touring airplane, and the word has it Austin Clemens isn't coming, because the Super 170's in his class, because he was pretty scared about the Bs.
My name is Sean Johnson, flying National STOL competition in the Bush class.
My name is Justin Tisdale. I'm flying a Zenith 750, flying in the Spark class. My dad and I would always go to events and things like that, and I would always look up and just see people flying. And for me, it was something that I dreamed of doing. It's something that he dreamed of doing. We grew up like kind of poorish, and he was a cop and couldn't really afford to do that kind of stuff. So after I got out of the military, I started looking at aviation. I was like, man, I think I could do that. Wound up completing that dream of his and mine to become a pilot. And anyone can do it. I know if I can do it, other people can do it.
You know, I'm going to be in this new class, the Bush class, so I think that's pretty awesome that they think that these bigger four-seater airplanes can compete against these planes that are 3 times the price.
Clayton Stansel's going to be in this run in the touring class.
Correct.
In Don's plane.
That's right.
But behind him is the Bush class. So these are the Citabrias, the Huskies, the Stinsons, the heavier T-carts, Swamp Monster, and then the big thing you see, we got a Piper Clipper there, but then we also have a bunch of Cessna 170s.
And that's where the fun begins. When you start getting planes that are very, very similar in design, like for example, Katie Wado's out there in a 1949 Clipper. Does she have the dogs in the plane right now?
Probably not.
Probably not. You probably left Pepper. You probably let the dogs hit on the ground.
Then we've got Micah Lindstrom behind her in a Cessna 170B. Jeff Pohl also in a Cessna 170 Bravo. Sean Johnson, Cessna, you guessed it, 170 Bravo model. But behind him, Jeff Daly in a 170 Alpha. Ooh, fighting words.
That's right.
And then John Luton in an Aviat Husky will be up. Actually, the Huskies, I think, we're breaking this class in half, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got the Huskies coming up after that. So Jeff Daly and John Luton will be in the next run.
They'll be the next class down.
That's right. Next heat.
John Luton
Thank you for the language
all the
correction.
way down here from Montana. I kind of had to apologize. He has a house down on the lake down here, but he flew all the way down from Montana. It was cold up there. He gets down here, and now it's sleeting this morning. I have to admit, I kind of lost it when the sleet started coming down. I kind of lost my composure a little bit.
That's just an average Wednesday in July in Wisconsin.
Sleet.
So
yeah, this is
fine.
not. Yeah, but you're not in Wisconsin. By the way, how did you like the crawfish?
They were nice, yeah.
That was your first time eating crawfish, wasn't it?
Thank you for teaching me the technique.
Folks, I want you to know Ryan needed instruction on how to eat a crawfish. He did not go on YouTube. Okay, we're coming up to the line. He didn't go on YouTube, but we got him hooked up last night. Got him some crawfish.
Lexi's getting everyone lined up. Love that enthusiasm from our line judge there. Oh, yeah, get them lined up.
She's
Get
got
Clayton
the little
lined
head
up.
nod. I like the head nod, and then she's got the, like you're down.
She's watching Top Gun, maybe. Watching Top Gun last night.
Absolutely.
Getting warmed up.
So here comes Clayton. Not a stranger to a straight tail. getting that tail up, and down it comes. Oh, that was smooth.
Now, it'll be interesting to
smooth.
see because we have two competitors in the same aircraft there.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how they really can't say, like, oh, it's my plane. It's like it's one of them.
It's two competitors, one aircraft. You know, we'll find out.
Katie
Now, here's
Waito in the
Katie
Piper
Waito.
Clipper.
And she's got VGs on her 49 Piper Clipper. That's not original equipment. Oh, she pulled a little early. Pulled just a little bit early. Now watch her bring it back down into ground effect, build up a little bit of airspeed, and then take on off. Now that was one of those early pulls we talked about, folks. It's all about timing.
Now here comes Micah.
Micah with the all-black cowling. He's got the little nudges on the cowling. You can see he's got the 180. Oh, listen to him. Tail up.
Whoa!
Down. He's up in 70. Just over 75, 80. Look at that, 80 feet, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about.
Trying to
Michael
do-
Lindstrom.
Doing his best
From
lawnmower impression
Minnesota.
out there. Here's Jeff
Absolutely.
Pohl. Now, you want to talk about grudge matches. You want to
Yes.
talk about where the competition really heats up. It's Micah
It's right here.
and this
Jeff.
guy with Jeff.
Got that tail up. He's going to hammer it down.
Whoa!
Yes.
Can
My
you? I
man.
mean, the thing is, like, I don't think it even thinks of an airplane like a 170 being able to do that.
Absolutely, but he's getting it. He's getting it. You see how high he got the tail up in the air? Now, here comes Sean. Now, I got to admit, I had to apologize to Sean last night. He could take it if he flies his best. Tail up, down. Yes!
No way! Here
Yes!
we go. Got to
Yes!
get it evened out now. Got it evened
He's
out.
got
There
more.
we go.
He's got more, Eric. He's got more. Look, that's a contender. So I actually had to apologize to Sean last night at the Crawfish Boil because the first time I met him in the lobby of the Hampton Inn, another one of our great sponsors, he sounded pretty confident.
Now here's Clayton.
Okay, here comes Clayton. We'll get back to this in a minute. Okay, Clayton, get that nose up.
Just over the line. Wheels
Good.
locked up from touchdown.
Yeah, he had him locked up when he hit. Okay, he had a smooth takeoff and a smooth landing. That guy is smooth.
So I know the Navy. Is it the Navy SEALs say slow is smooth and smooth is fast?
Yes.
Is smooth is short and short is smooth?
I guess so.
All right. Not always true. Not with Jeff Pohl. Look
Man,
at Katie
no.
slipping it in.
Slipping it in.
Slipping
She
it
has
hard.
no flaps, ladies and gentlemen. She has no flaps. So if she needs to adjust her approach, she's got to slip it.
Held it off just right.
Now, Katie,
Nice.
a professional crop duster from Saskatchewan, Canada, flies almost every day. She flies a lot. And a professional crop duster who works in an airplane for a living is going to be able to handle an aircraft.
Also want to point out she's got a great sense of humor. We've got these pilot profile sheets, and it asks, what are your aircraft performance mods? And hers says, short wing, big butt.
There you go. So I had to turn to Sean last night after watching him in practice because I kind of challenged him a little bit in the lobby. I said, dude, I've been doing this 3 years. Everybody thinks they can beat Jeff Pohl, and not everybody can beat Jeff Pohl. And last night I looked him straight in the face and I said, you could beat Jeff Pohl because he's a contender. He's good.
We clearly saw that. I
He's
wasn't even
good.
expecting it. I was like, oh, here we go.
It's some new guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, he is outstanding. Here comes
Now, here's
Michael
Micah
Lindstrom.
hovering it in. Oh!
Oh, no.
Nope.
Lexi's
Yeah,
giving him the scratch.
Called it a scratch.
Giving him the scratch.
That's
okay.
going to hurt.
That hurts Micah's feelings. It really does.
He's going to have to trim some of that beard off.
He's going to feel kind of tenderhearted after that one to scratch that short. He had it going though.
Watch the
Not
replay
much.
here, though.
Not much.
Yeah.
He didn't scratch by much.
Now, Jeff Pohl off and to your left, folks. Coming in on short final. A little bit higher approach.
So, Eric, back up for me just a little bit, buddy. Okay, here he comes. I have the owner of the company standing between me and the competitors.
All right, a little power over Jeff. Whoa, there we go.
Yes.
Hit those brakes.
Yes.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. When you see him come in and splay those wheels out like that, that means all the energy is out of that aircraft. And that energy is being transferred into the ground, and the wheels are locking up, and the aircraft's coming to a stop. And there. So
now, if I'm led to believe,
but I
Sean
literally-
Johnson, a.k.a.
Look.
you called him the Contender. By the way,
I had to eat my words.
His airplane is called the Stole Trooper.
I saw that. I love the sticker on the side.
Here
of
he
it.
is. Short
Here
final.
comes Sean, the Stole Trooper. His son's in the crowd, by the way. Oh, nose up.
Okay. Nice.
Locked up. Didn't even move the wheel.
Gotta let him roll a little bit
A little
at the
bit.
end
He
there.
doesn't want to nose over. You don't want to nose over and dig that prop into the ground. But he did not finish as short as Jeff Pohl. But let me tell you,
Look at the
takeoff,
spread on the replay
Sure.
here. And just sliding down the
they're
runway.
putting every last bit of that energy, Here comes Katie Wado, folks. She can hear you. She's got the door open.
She's got the door open.
She's got the door open. She can hear you.
Window open for Mike. You could probably just don't boo him. I'm just kidding. He's scratched.
Keep
but
going.
Give him a cheer. Give him some encouragement.
He came all the way down here from Minnesota to have fun in Jennings, Louisiana. My man, Jeff Pohl, the slacker from Malacca, the Dirty Bird.
Now I want to go back for a second here. I want to go back. We've got Clayton Stansel getting ready to take off. I want to talk about where he is.
Tail up and tail down. Clayton is so smooth. He is so smooth.
He's competing in the touring class, yes?
Yes,
in the
he's
same
in
airplane
touring.
as Don Mickey, correct?
That's right.
Look at what just happened. Don Mickey's best score, 507. Clayton Stansel, 505. So beat his co-pilot by 2 feet.
How would
on
you
the
like
first
it if
run.
you flew across the country to go to a contest and a guy beat you by 2 feet?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe just make him buy dinner.
Here comes Katie Wado. Here comes Katie Wado. Getting that tail up. Oh, she judged this one a little better, and she's off the ground in 275.
Yeah, so
She
Katie's...
lands on beaches and in fields, and she lands anywhere. She just doesn't care. I mean, she can land anywhere, but she's used to handling an enormous air tractor. You know, for her, flying the Clipper must be fun. Michael Lindstrom, ladies and gentlemen. Tail up, tail down. Oh!
I'm going to call that.
That was shorter than 75.
Shorter than 75, 100%. Now, let's talk about where we are right now. Katie Wado, previous run, 719. Sean Johnson, 219. Jeff Pohl, 177. And his takeoff, by the way, 79 feet.
Nice.
Here's Jeff Pohl
tail
again.
Tail up, tail down. Nice.
These are incredible performance today. That
Yes.
low density altitude, the expert pilotage all stacking up for the crowd right now here in Jennings, Louisiana.
So we're waiting. Sean pulls up. When he comes by, folks, you'll see the sticker on the other side of his tail. The Stole Trooper. Here he comes.
And he's off really short, too.
There he goes. All right. Looking good.
Saw the McFarlane sticker. I think he's running McFarlane.
A lot of the #1 people in the series run those McFarlane props. They have a very good reputation on this series for being able to pull hard and be low vibration. And a lot of folks chase vibrations around. They chase vibrations around all day, and then they go get themselves a McFarlane prop, and they go, okay, that was the problem. Look at this. We have Smoky Mountain.
Smoky Mountain
Coming
Thrill
in.
Billy.
Look, here he comes.
On social
Here
thing. I
comes
love
Clayton.
this. Speaking
Once
of loving
again,
it.
smooth. He's so smooth.
Yeah. Got that whistle.
How many hours does
Everyone
Clayton
gets so
have?
quiet when he lands.
Thousands. Now, of course, Clayton is a professional jet pilot, ladies and gentlemen. He flies people everywhere they need to go in jets, King Airs. You know, he does private flights for he's already fully contracted out, and that's just what he does for a living. And when he wants to have some fun, he comes down here and he does this.
Now, Katie, on short final, has to slip it in. And she gave me a ride from Lafayette to Jennings the other day, and we had to slip it a little bit on landing into here. Here she comes. Slips, been corrected, and a scratch for Katie.
Oh, scratch. Lexi put that first arm up. I thought it was going to be a thumbs up, but no, it was a scratch. Oh, that's painful. So, you did catch a ride back from Lafayette in that aircraft, didn't you?
Yeah, it's great. It was really fun. Everyone, by the way, everyone, you should have someone you know with a plane who can pick you up from American Airlines and fly you to the next nearest airport to your home. It's just quite luxurious.
It really is. Did you feel bougie?
I felt pampered.
Oh, that's cool. Almost like you were important.
Yeah, it was slightly important.
like you were central to the operations of the National STOL Series.
What's funny to me is that they asked if anyone could come give me a ride, and all the other pilots said no, and Katie's like, "Nah, I got this."
You know why?
Yeah, because they were all afraid, and
we
she was
were
ready
at DI's.
to go.
No, we were all at DI's having a delicious dinner.
Here comes Micah Lindstrom now.
He's looking good. He's got that nice and slow. He's got it nice and slow. He'll be able to take this nose up now. Perfect.
Okay. Now,
perfect. Absolutely perfect. You'll notice, though, Mike is not getting the splay out on the wheels like his competitors, Jeff and Sean. He's not getting that splay out.
Jeff Pohl now coming in low, hovering it in. Got those flaps dropped. Love seeing those bush wheels. A little bit of a bubble up. Easing it off. Right on the line. Thumbs up. Get it short. Get it stopped. Sub 75 feet.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want to talk about something for a second.
That's what I'm talking about.
In Dubai, you saw a highly modified bush plane land in sub 75 feet. You just saw a Cessna 170, way heavier, do the exact same thing here in Jennings.
Less than 75 feet. That is amazing. I hear the guys over here going, "That's sick."
That was sick. That was so sick, bro.
That's so sick, bro. And here comes Sean in the STOL Trooper. Nosing up, nosing
Keeping
up.
it off. Right on the line. What'd she
get
say?
It?
Oh, she looked to the other judge.
Oh, no, he scratched.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Can we go to instant replay?
Should we get mad?
Should we go to
Eric from National STOL says we probably should run that one back. Let's go to the replay. Here we go.
Okay, we're all...
I think it was. Yeah, it was a scratch. I'm still mad.
I got to tell you, I've been a line judge.
They're rewinding it for us here. Check it out right there before the line.
You can see the white line before the
Sorry,
tire.
guys.
You know, I've been a line judge, and I'm here to tell you, folks, it's heartbreaking. You don't want to, you're rooting for the pilots. When you're a line judge, you're rooting for the pilots. You want them to do well, perform their best, and when they scratch, man, it just breaks your heart. It just breaks your heart.
Clayton Stancil coming up to the line. Let's very briefly give you an update on the standings. Right now, first place in the Bush class, Jeff Pohl with 145. Trying to nip at his heels, Michael Lindstrom, 197. Sean Johnson, the contender, 219. And Katie Waito in the Clipper, the flapless Clipper, 719. And let's pop over to touring to see what's going on with Clayton.
All right. So here comes Clayton again, the smooth operator. Up, down.
Easing it off there. He did improve his run. His second run was 489, so he's still in a solid second place ahead of his co-pilot, Don, there.
Now that's pretty normal for the runs to get shorter and shorter as the contest continues. They get it dialed in. They get a little closer every single time. So here comes Katie Waito in the 49 Clipper, bringing it up. Tail down. I think this is one of her better ones, actually. She's around 275. That's pretty consistent.
The short wing Piper, the short wing Piper is obviously they're called short wing. There's a lot less wing area, and I wonder, obviously in landing, there's a positive there. If you want to get in someplace, you have a little less wing area to help you descend a little more easily.
That's right.
But I wonder if on the takeoff that's hurting a little bit compared to something like a Cessna 170 that's got a little bit more.
That's right.
Room.
And in the unlimited class, Steve Henry even has wing extensions. Okay, Michael Lindstrom. He's got that tail up.
Oh, almost.
If he could have kept it off the ground after that first bounce, he'd have had a sub 75-foot takeoff. If he'd just been able to keep it off the ground after that first bounce. So here comes Jeff Pohl.
Jeff Pohl, so competitive.
Absolutely. Watch his tail come up. Dirty Bird tail comes up, and he's going to slam it.
Sub 75-foot takeoff. I disagree. I don't know. He said it was just over 75, but I don't know. What do you guys think in the crowd? Was it over 75 or under 75?
Oh, everybody's saying they're saying under.
Even 75.
Even
All right.
75?
All right.
Okay.
Ever the diplomat over there in the Stol drag jacket.
Here
All
comes
right,
Sean.
here's Sean Johnson.
I'm going to say this. For this being his first Stol contest, he is performing unbelievably. That is a great first showing by Sean. I mean, just incredible. And, you know, we use the word bougie. You know what that means, right? It's derived from the bourgeoisie, the new rich. It means you're fancy. Okay, let's talk about this trailer a little bit from one of our sponsors.
Yeah, that's a bougie thing.
It is
really nice
bougie.
inside.
That trailer is incredibly bougie.
It's got the LED lights on the ceiling.
24-foot walk-on production
really nice.
facility. I mean,
Got
should
the
we even call it
windows that open?
I'm going to call it a production facility from here on out. I mean, it's even got like a door that opens onto the field. It's incredible.
By the way, that's USA Trailers Direct. Thanks so much. All right, here we go. Clayton Stansel.
Look at that.
Got the
Smooth
wheels.
again. Smooth again. I think Clayton's going to beat Don on this one.
He already did.
Yeah, by 2 feet though. But I think now he's. No,
he's ahead. He's ahead now. He's the second run was 489, and this one was just a little bit longer, 491. We just saw it pop up on the score sheet. So
man,
second place, Clayton Stansel in touring.
Now, folks at home, if you don't know, right here on our screens, we're sharing a lot of this information as we go. We've got an incredible tech crew in the production facility there that are feeding these scores onto a sheet as we go. Here comes Katie Wado. I would say she should dump the flaps, but you know what? She doesn't have any flaps.
She mentioned to me that she loves the Clipper because it's got bigger ailerons than the sister aircraft to this, the Piper Pacer, the Pacer and the Tri-Pacer. Right. They traded some flap for aileron, and she prefers this for the extra aileron authority.
Because she can slip it.
You can slip it good.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time before our next competitor comes in here. I want to talk about Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, the insurance partner of National Stol, helping us keep everyone safe and taken care of. If you need aviation protected, you got to look no further than Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. Also, might as well take a minute to talk about Sarasota Avionics.
Absolutely.
Avionics shop that takes care of everybody. Provides a lot of prizes for the series. Sarasota Avionics. They're a maintenance shop, avionics shop. Love working with them. Appreciate their continued support. Check out Sarasota Avionics. Here's Micah Lindstrom now, hovering it in. Does this feel more aggressive than last time?
It does, because he's a little higher. He's bringing it in a little higher. Now he's taking the power out, getting the nose up. He's about to dump the flaps. Flaps down.
Just
nice.
standing on the brakes. Just stand on those toe brakes.
That's a good one. I hear some clapping from the audience. Absolutely. He deserves some credit for that. That was an absolutely great landing. Great landing. And he's being a good pilot by getting off the field when he's done.
He's got plenty of time. Jeff Pohl's just hovering off the end of the runway there.
Could you believe you could make a 170 do that? Look at the way it's just sitting in the air.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
That's just unbelievable.
I mean, I'm not trying to undercut what happened in Dubai on the pinnacle landing. That was incredible. But like, we are seeing at least one portion of the challenge of that, the distance part of it. You're going to see landings shorter and shorter and shorter than that today. Now, granted, that was up on a skyscraper with a pinnacle landing and wind and everything, but we got wind here too. Check it out, helping out Jeff Pohl a little bit. Nice.
Wow, that was kind of smooth.
Okay, a little bit longer. Here's the thing. I heard some people go, oh, because his tail touched. We don't care. The tail can touch before the line. It's just the mains that we're measuring from. So
it is not a scratch if the tail touches.
It's actually, I bet, a little preferred, right? You get a little bit of drag off of that.
Exactly. You let the tail touch first. That means your nose is way high and you're bleeding off lots and lots of energy. So that is just outstanding. An outstanding job there by Jeff Pohl coming in. And, and once again, not to discount anything that happened with that stunt. But what I'm really proud of him is now I look on my feed and they're showing all the practice.
All the work they did.
All the work that went into it. They clearly deserve credit for all the work they put into that stunt. It was just incredible.
Sean Johnson deserves a little credit for the work he's putting in. Look at this. Got that whistle. Got that MT whistle. Nice. Dropped it right in.
Oh! Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Nice.
Perfect.
Oh!
Perfect. Perfect, ladies and gentlemen. And the crowd goes wild.
Oh, man.
He's a contender.
Look at that on replay. Watch that again for a second here.
I told you he was a contender.
Transferring all that energy down, just standing on the brakes. And he let go of him at just the right point. Look, the stick's full back, full back.
Perfect.
Nothing he can do but let go.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
Woo.
I can't wait for the scores to come in and see where that puts him. When I look, I'm
Jeff's
telling
gotta
you,
be,
I told it he needs to be nervous.
Jeff's got to be a little nervous about this.
He needs to be a little nervous with this guy on the field. This guy could beat him. Okay.
So, unofficial results for the Bush class thus far. Things are getting tight, Maddie. Things are getting tight. Jeff Pohl currently in first place with Dirty Bird, that 170 Bravo model, 145 can beat. 45 feet. I'm so excited. I got to calm down for a second here.
Yeah, 145
I want to point out
feet.
his takeoff, his second takeoff was 73 feet. And
So, folks, we're just now hearing from the booth that we're going to make a second run this afternoon. So, for a total of six. So these guys are going to have a chance, although they might be leading at the quote-unquote halftime. And stay tuned, we're going to have a halftime show for you. And not only that, will you have a chance to go back and see Miss Marilyn at the food truck, but these guys they'll have a chance during lunch to talk mess to each other, try to psych each other out, and then get three more chances to see who's going to win.
Okay, so let's break this down here. Jeff Pohl, first place. Best takeoff, 73 feet. Best landing, 72 feet. That's incredible.
Awesome.
Sean Johnson now unseating Micah for second place, now with 89 feet. And actually the best landing of Bush so far with 65.
Right.
65
which comes down to the point I was making that you've got to combine your best takeoff and your best landing. You can't know.
So he's in second place with the combined score of 156. Then following it up after that, we've got Micah Lindstrom with 172.
Here comes David Weinstein.
And Katie with the Piper Clipper, improved dramatically, 506.
We've got Mr. David Weinstein up there. Who's coming up onto the line, Ryan? Let's pull up our standings and see who we're looking at here.
So first we'll have Jeff Daly, 170.
Jeff Daly,
John Luden in that Aviat Husky, and then David Weinstein also in a Husky.
So to talk a little bit about these fine Huskies, all right, Mr. David Weinstein is in a Husky. He usually flies a Venom for BTR Jet, one of the sponsors of the National STOL Series. But today, he's out in his Husky. Now, so these are professional pilots. These are people who fly, 500-mile-an-hour jets every day. But for fun, they come out here and do this. So let's talk about Jeff Daly in this Cessna 170.
Well, it may be a little confusing. You may have a little deja vu because it looks a lot like Micah Lindstrom's 170. And the way that you can tell them apart is that they told me the joke was that Jeff's 170, the nose is a little less dirty. It's got less black painted on the nose. It's just up to the little bit of the nose there versus the entire cowling.
I suppose if you painted your entire front cowling black, you wouldn't have to worry about the bugs, would you? It's would it show? Would it hide the dirt?
Yeah, you don't have to polish it.
I'd have to paint mine brown. We have so many bugs down here. So Lexi is drawing Jeff up to the line here with style. And he's up here on the line. You'll notice he's got the VGs and the cuff. He's got that tail up high.
Giving it a good bite.
There he goes.
I want to remind everyone we are still in Bush class, so it's still anyone's game.
It's
Jeff Pohl, Sean Johnson, Micah, and Katie, honestly, all in competitive spots, but now they just have to stand by and wait and see what happens.
Exactly right. And so now we're getting into the Huskies. John debated whether or not this is his first competition. It's only David's second. And John debated whether or not he should go in rookie class, and he decided to come on into Bush, and you can see why. You can see why right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a great takeoff by John. This guy obviously is in the class he belongs in, but of course our rookies did so well. I mean, they were rookies.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that.
I'm not sure if the class is operating. I'm going to have to talk with them later about this. I'm not sure the class is operating as it's supposed to. When the rookies fly that well, you know, are we really doing the right thing? Now here comes David Weinstein, ladies and gentlemen.
David Weinstein from Baton Rouge.
That's right. BTR jet pilot, getting up in less than 150 feet. Jack of Arkansas fame is going to call that one in.
Got to talk about another one of our sponsors, Duke Propeller.
Absolutely. Now,
Duke Propeller. Let's talk about propellers for a second.
DUC pronounced
Duke.
Duke.
Not duck.
Not duck.
Duke Propeller. Got to meet some folks from that company in Gainesville. Really just great folks.
Absolutely.
Appreciate their support this season. Duke Propeller. Check them out. A lot of really interesting innovation happening.
That's
over
right.
At Duke Propeller. Lots of, constant speed type things.
Yep.
Single lever, constant speed props. Things that are really just exciting for pilots, reduce pilot workload. It's going to be really cool to see those products come out.
And don't they make paramotor blades also? They make a wide array of products. They don't just deal with airplanes. You know, I think they deal with a lot of experimentals. You know, and there's just a broad range of products that company produces.
Off and to your left now, we've got Jeff Daly in the 170, getting a little heat from folks because he's got the Alpha model, right?
That's
or no,
right.
I'm misremembering that.
No, I think he does have the Alpha model.
Yeah. Apparently the Bravo model is better for some reason. Whatever. Let's see, Jeff. Throw it down.
So what I find kind of funny, and I'm gonna talk about him a little bit. Come on. Oh, Jeff dragging it in.
Oh, Raylan Daly, by the way, on the feed says, "Good luck, Jeff."
Here comes, he's dragging in, dropping it, down he goes.
Nice. Okay, he's not messing around.
No, he's not. He's in the books. Look, he's got his first score. He's in the books. That's a good, solid performance there on his first run. That's exactly what you want to do. See, now his animal pilot brain is saying, well, I'm in the books now. I've got my points for the series.
Right.
I can win that lift helmet.
I can be a little, the lift helmet.
He can kind of relax a little bit.
Can be a little more aggressive now.
You know, he can be a little bit more aggressive. So, in our rankings here, as we're standing now, it's Jeff Pohl being chased by Sean Johnson. There is only 11 feet between Jeff Pohl and Sean Johnson. They're going to have the whole lunch break to think about it.
And the whole lunch break to fight about it.
Exactly. You know, they got the whole lunch break to think about it. And Michael Lindstrom only just 20-something feet behind, 24 feet behind Sean. And 24 feet in this business is not much, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's John Luton in that Husky.
John, look good.
Bit
Bring it up, John. Don't scratch. Oh, it's a scratch.
It's a scratch. He almost saved it.
So sometimes a gust will get you. And I think that's what happened to John there. And, you know, sometimes the wind's not on your side. Of course, we'd love to have perfectly sterile conditions, just a little bit. It was just a tiny scratch.
Just a little short there, yeah.
But a scratch is a scratch, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing you can do about it.
Here's David Weinstein now, low and to the left. Bringing it in that low approach, trying to hold it right off. You can see the wings are dropping a little bit here and there, giving a little extra speed, a little extra throttle. That's a scratch for David.
Come on, David. So it's really rough when you scratch on your first run, folks, because now the pressure's on. You've only got 2 more tries. So now what you'll find is instead of having a nice, solid first run, their second run will be long. Their second run's going to be long because they're just trying to make sure they get in the books. And this is a series. You get points, right? And the points add up. There are 10 events all over America, and the points add up for the series. So it's important that you get one in, quote, get one in the books.
I don't know if the car is updated yet.
So as the scores come in, now understand the scores are all being recorded. That just doesn't mean that they're going to pop up. That's that tech crew in the production facility here to my right that are making all that happen. Do I think the wind is picking up a little bit?
Felt it. I feel a little colder. So maybe it's picking up a little bit.
It might be picking up a little bit.
All right. Here's Jeff Daly now on the line in that 170. Talking to him yesterday, getting to know him a little bit after practice. Just a real competitive guy.
Absolutely.
Really trading a lot of camaraderie, a lot of shots with Micah in particular. He's coming for Micah, so
one of the most fun things about these gatherings, folks, they're competitions, but they're fly-ins too. And the pilots love to, visit with each other and.
Got it. And then these other dudes, they're joining.
So they love to sit around and talk. And if you look on Facebook, on the Swamp STOL Facebook page, I took a video of the lobby last night. And here comes Jeff, tail up, tail down, solid takeoff. That is a solid takeoff, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
And now it's kind of interesting to see. We've got kind of a squadron. How many aircraft in a squadron? We got a squadron of Huskies. Does this qualify?
I think it is. It is a squadron of Huskies. It's good to see Husky well represented out here today. And here comes John picking it up. He had a nice, solid takeoff last time. Nice solid takeoff this time.
I want to point something out, and not just because he's standing next to me. You just saw a Husky, which is like a purpose-built backcountry airplane,
aircraft.
Not go quite as short on takeoff as Jeff Pohl right there.
And his
Jeff Pohl did that right there. He did that.
170.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little trash here.
Well, maybe you will. I have to be nice.
Oh, no,
here
I'm
we go.
talk trash.
Yeah, he's getting the nose up.
Come on,
little early
there
on
you go,
the bite.
David. He's a little early on the bite, but he got it up, and off he goes.
Now we got some news. We got some new Huskies joining us up. This is
John Young.
John Young. You can see as it comes around, and actually on both sides of the wing, you maybe can tell he's from Arkansas. There's a little work in that little aviation STOL event, Arkansas.
That's right. John Young getting that tail up.
There we go, sub 100 feet for John Young.
Very good, very respectable performance from John Young.
Not sure he has enough stickers on that airplane.
Man, I was going to make comment. I thought I had a lot of stickers on my airplane, but John has got me beat. Stickers make it go faster. I'm just saying.
Yes, factually accurate. You have one of my stickers on your airplane. I'm sure that's why you're so competitive.
I do, absolutely. It absolutely helps to have a Super Aero sticker on your airplane.
Adam Plunkett.
Here comes Adam, getting that tail up. With the smaller tires, those wheels stopped turning real fast after he took off.
Yeah, he sure did.
You don't think he had any brakes on, do you?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
say Dirty Bird gives a shout out to AG.
Okay, very good. So we're getting a note here from Mr. Jeff Pohl back here. The Dirty Bird gives a shout out to AG. Big shout out to AG. If you're listening, Dirty Bird says, hey, audience of, man, who knows? How many people watched the practice?
The practice, there's over 17,000 people.
17,000 people watched live the practice yesterday.
It's a big deal.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is
just
amazing.
The practice.
17,000 aviation-interested people that you might want to sell something to were watching the practice yesterday. You like that? You like how I did that?
That was good. That was nice.
So,
do you want to talk about someone who might want to sell something? AirTech coatings. We haven't talked about AirTech coatings.
We're not going to talk about AirTech coatings.
AirTech coatings. They got that wet look.
Let's talk about Robbie Stanton's cup.
Robbie Stanton. Yeah, that beautiful cup.
And that's done with AirTech.
Birds on the field.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right, he held it. He held it. Those birds were like,
oh man, that's a distraction.
Up, dude?
That's a distraction.
He held it on though.
There's nothing. Oh, you're on final and you got a flock of birds.
Yeah, no big deal.
Well, about to have Moscow on the bayou. What did they call it? Crash on the Hudson. Rescue on the Hudson, Miracle on the Hudson.
Miracle
when he landed
Moscow on the bayou? What?
I don't know. It's just
Miracle on the bayou, almost. It didn't happen though.
I don't know.
But honestly, like fair play. We're joking about it, but you got to hold your concentration. You got to fly the airplane in that moment.
Fly the airplane.
Got to fly the airplane. Not worry about the birds.
These airplanes, and I'm not going to say how I know they can take a bird strike because they're not going 500 miles an hour. And we're not going to suck a goose into a jet intake. It's not going to end well. Oh, looky there.
Kenny Monger on social.
A shout out from my man, Kenny Monger. Love you, Kenny. Wish you were here, brother. No, I don't, actually. It's really cold. It's really cold. We'd all be cuddled up in a corner somewhere. It's horrid.
So Kenny Monger on social saying, love you guys, miss you. And Jeff Pohl, you rock. Man, Jeff Pohl's ego is going to get even bigger.
You better watch out. We got Kenny Monger rooting for him. What a landing by John. Look at that.
Get it stopped. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. He had all the energy out of that aircraft when it hit the ground. Now imagine if you had a little beach on a river, a little gravel sandbar. You know, John would not have any trouble taking him and his wife and going out on that sandbar, having a picnic, enjoying the day, maybe do a little fly fishing.
Sure. If your wife is into that, my wife's not really into that. But
my wife does not fish. But
David Weinstein, David Weinstein coming up
Weinstein.
In a 1996 Husky.
He's got
Here he
a lot
comes.
of energy. He went after scratching that last time.
So he's safe this time.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. That got in his head, and he pulled that. He came in with a lot of energy to make absolutely sure he got his score in the books.
Felt a little hot. Now he's got to bring it back for the next round.
Exactly. Now, not hot for a man who flies a Phenom. So, but talking about AirTech coatings, would you notice I got kind of excited?
You did.
Yes, I'm going. They throw seminars every now and again for a weekend on painting and covering aircraft, and I'm going. I am absolutely going. I've already talked with Kelly and Robbie. I'm going and learning from the best, because if you can paint an airplane the way Robbie Stanton can paint an airplane, and I'll never be able to
it's a
paint
work
like
of
that.
art.
I can't
a work
paint
of
like
art.
that. It is art.
Chris Jones in the feed saying, "Go Stickers," which I'm guessing is a reference.
Yes, and here come the stickers
to John
now.
Young, who's on short final right now.
That's right. Here come the stickers now, and he's getting up.
Little burst of power is going to cost him.
That's right. He should have dumped those flaps, but that's okay. He'll pick it up next time. Finishing just a little long. I love the Arkenstol on the left wing. Now, that is a fine event, folks. If you ever get a chance to go up to Bird's Adventure Center and go watch them run the course at Arkenstol, that is just a really fun event and a great weekend. I go up for the week, and I'll be announcing Arkenstol this year along with my good buddy Don of Patriot Cubs, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And
I haven't
music.
been yet. I got to get down there.
Well, the music is great, and the River Restaurant there caters the whole thing. You know, and the food is just delicious.
Here, let's see if he can plunk it down. It's Adam Plunkett. Over the line.
Man.
Stick full back. He's locking him up. Very respectful, respectful landing.
Really, with the dad jokes? Really? With
Yeah,
the dad
man.
jokes?
Come at me, bro.
We're both dads, man. What are we going to do? Got a pair of dads.
You
on the
know
mic.
I was working on that for a whole pattern.
Yeah, pair of dads on the mic here.
All right, everyone.
with the dad
Cheer
jokes.
for them as they come on by. They can hear you.
Here comes Jeff. Give him a little wave out here.
I want to talk.
So. Really? Okay, we're going to. I got to tell you, folks, one thing I just want to say. I'm really proud. I am really proud of this crowd for coming out in this weather today, folks. I gotta tell you, this is a unique aviation event. You don't see this anywhere else in the world, and it is just so great to see all of you out here today, braving this cold, wet weather to come out and see these pilots fly. They've flown from all over the United States and Canada to come down here and perform and get the best performance out of their aircraft. And I just got to tell you, for all of you from Louisiana, I'm doubly proud of y'all because we don't do this kind of weather. We usually stay home on a day like today, but thank y'all for coming out. It is just great to see y'all.
And I did pack shorts for today, and I could have worn them, but I didn't.
That's spring
That's
in Louisiana.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's March in Louisiana.
This is summer in Wisconsin. Let's go look at the scores right now. Let's talk the top six. Jeff Pohl maintaining his lead with 145. Sean Johnson, 156. Micah Lindstrom, 172. Now let's start talking about who's in the running now. John Luton, 243. Mr. Plunkett, 268. And Jeff Daly with 287 in sixth place. That's the top six in the Bush class currently here at Swamp STOL 3.
That's right. And then they'll have, after lunch, another 3 runs to improve their scores.
Here goes John Luton.
John's doing very well. John, for a first-time competitor, is really coming out. I mean, to be in 4th place at this point in this class among these flyers, I mean, these are these are some really, really good pilots out here.
Here's David Weinstein You can give a cheer for him as your local from Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, BTR jet pulling a little early. Just a little early. That's going to cost him a few feet, but he's got her up, and he's coming around. So this is his third run now of this set. I don't know that they know they're doing another 3 runs this afternoon. So that pressure, that mental pressure might be weighing on David's brain, saying, oh, man, I got to get a good one this time. And here comes Stickers. John Young, ladies and gentlemen, Arkansas. Pulled a little early, but that's okay.
And I gotta say hi to someone in social, Levi Nogus. Howdy, Matt and Ryan. Sounding good. Well, Levi,
we're trying,
you,
buddy.
I'm sure, are looking good.
Oh,
can't see you, but I bet you're
always
looking
looks
real
good with the Stetson and the mustache.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's been working a lot lately. We got to give that up, Levi. We've got to give up the working.
Here comes Adam Plunkett. Stick back. He's off the ground.
Hey, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, here on site, Aviation Magazine, you can pick one up right here. They're for free all around, and you will find in it a National STOL advertisement with our schedules, websites. You can go online and find out how you can be part of all of this. And we always encourage people to come out, talk to the pilots, learn. You will come away a better pilot. And also, you're going to have a good time. Who we got coming in here? Slipping.
So Jeff Daly's now coming in, and I think he's been really hugging that tree line, giving over the power lines there, dropping it in right when he gets over airport property.
That's right. He's getting it down,
nice
and then he's dragging it in. That's a technique. Lots of people do it.
Now he's got to be careful, though. He's losing a little bit of that wind off the nose there.
The really scary thing about dragging it in is that you might get a gust and lose it, but he's not going to do that. Oh, no, he's scratched.
A scratch for Jeff Daly.
Oh, I love the fact that we can hear the crowd moan on this. Now, we hate a scratch, ladies and gentlemen. Lexi hates doing it. She doesn't want to scratch them. She wants to give the big thumbs up, but if they scratch, they scratch. You got to be honest because it's all on camera.
Next up, John Luton in that Aviat Husky.
I'll tell you, I hope John should be very pleased with himself for his first showing to be in 4th place after the first round of 3. That's incredible. And it was a long flight. I mean, to come down from Montana,
Yeah, that's a flight. That's a flight and a half.
That's a long flight in a small plane.
So John Luton, let's look at his score so far. First round DQ, second round takeoff of 109, landing of 134. But that's how he got into 4th place. This second or third round takeoff here, 110. So just a foot longer, so very consistent.
He's very consistent.
Let's see what he can do on the landing when he decides to join us.
Is he just floating that thing down here? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's just hanging out. It's fine. It's not like we're all waiting.
We're all waiting on you, John. Come on, buddy. Look at that slow flight. That is just so incredible. Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful that is. Just floating down here. Like not a care in the world. Probably in his mind, he's imagining landing on a creek in Montana.
There we go. Cut the power. Oh, nope. A little bit of power is going to cost him.
That little burp. That one little burp. That one little burp. Still a very respectable landing.
What do you when you hear that throttle kind of that little burp of power, little burst of power? What does that translate to you in footage lost?
So at least 10. That's at least 10, maybe 15. So when the Legend Cubs are out here and they have their doors open, they may not have their doors open. And you can hear the stall warning horn going off. Oh, here comes David looking good.
David coming in a little hot comparatively.
He's a little hot, but he's smooth.
Keeping it locked up, that right wheel locked up.
We've talked about the smoothness of Clayton's runs and how nice Clayton comes in. So smooth. David Weinstein also coming in just super smooth. You can tell that's a professional pilot, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell he flies a Phenom business jet all over the United States and the world because he comes in there and you can tell that So also, to go back to one of our other sponsors, it's worth mentioning he's just making the 360 to give some distance. Yeah, he's just pulling the left 360 to give some more distance.
That's a big thing we want to point out. We've got air bosses here. They're the unsung heroes of the competition. They're coordinating all the aircraft movement, and they said, hey, you're stacking up a little tight. No problem. Do a left 360.
Nose up,
Space
John.
it out.
Nose up, John.
Oh,
scratch.
Scratch for stickers.
That's a scratch for stickers. Doggone it. Well, he's not going to like that, but he'll be okay.
He'll be all right. He'll be fine.
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right. Rub some dirt on your feelings. You'll be okay. So a 360 is a common maneuver used to establish distance between aircraft, and they do that at the direction. Either they make the decision themselves, they say, I'm too close, I'm the last person in line, I have the ability, I'm going to pull a 360, or they're directed by our air bosses. It's worth mentioning that National STOL uses professional, certified air bosses. Our two air bosses that we have here today have over 6 decades of combined experience. They're very experienced. They are both retired and just kind of travel around the circuit with us. And interestingly enough, one of our great sponsors right here, the Hampton Inn, provides a room for our head air boss with a jacuzzi in it because we want him to be relaxed.
Yeah, it's a high-stress job.
High stress, man. High stress.
Here's Adam Plunkett now coming in. Low, hear that?
Oh, look at that.
Okay, she says it's good.
She says it's good.
Now he's got to get it.
No, hold on.
Wait,
the replay.
We're hearing in the replay might be different.
The replay booth
watch
says
the
something
replay
different.
here. They're slowing it down for us here in the booth. Sorry, you can't see that.
And
they're calling. They're checking another angle here.
This is amazing. I know you're all watching this back home. Look, it's kicking up dirt. It's kicking
up dirt.
It's kicking up dirt before the line.
Oh, yeah, scratch. Oh, kind of an easy scratch to see from there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
One of the greatest calls to ever make is to give the thumbs up when the tire hits the paint, because the rules are, if the tire hits the paint, it's good. You just don't want to pull up any grass or dirt before the line. And that's really especially hard to see that. Here comes John Young for his third run.
And he's off maybe just under 125, I'll call it.
Nice, looking good. That's a good solid takeoff for John. If he can match that with a tight landing, he'll be looking good.
I want to point out Adam Plunkett also local to the state, Oak Grove.
That's right. That's great. We're so glad to have these local pilots here showing out. It's a beautiful Husky too.
Nice, solid takeoff, sub 125 feet. Plunkett currently in 5th place.
That's right. Leveling off. That is a solid performance by a pair of Huskies. Both David and Adam have done very, very well today in their Aviat Huskies. You know what's funny is the weather, and I know we've been complaining about the weather, but it's great performing weather. What else have we got?
Well, I wanted you to talk a little bit about Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission.
I can't talk enough about Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission. This event would not happen without the great folks of the Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission.
Separately, I just want to point out, we got a thing on the screen there. Folks from Arkansas, we're looking forward to having you there.
I can't wait to announce it.
Chris Jones says, Matt, we're looking forward to having you back at Arkansas. Chris, also, you could call me also.
Absolutely.
I'd come down.
It is fun. It's a great event. Great music, great food, great people.
Sorry, so we're talking about Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission. Say that 3 times fast.
We also couldn't do it without the Coshada Tribe of Louisiana, who sponsored the Bernie Allen Band last night. We had a great time eating crawfish and listening to Cajun music inside, which was provided by the City of Jennings in their multi-purpose building. All of that getting arranged by Caitlin and all the great folks with Jeff Davis Parish Tourism, just a great bunch of folks. And next year, I've got a surprise for next year. I'm going to tell everybody. Caitlin and I were talking. If we have to do it inside, we're going to ride everybody to the crawfish boil on a Mardi Gras float.
Love that. You know who else would love that?
Oh, John Young.
John Young would love that. Here he is
on short final.
I don't know if I could have
John Young on a Mardi Gras float. Here he comes. Another scratch
for Stickers.
Come on, John.
Stickers scratching it up.
Does he know that he's getting 3 more chances after lunch?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't.
I mean, if he doesn't, he's going to have his little bottom lip poked out.
Now, interesting to notice, John's takeoffs have been improving. 127, 107, 110. But he's DQ'd on the last 2 runs.
That's right. You got to get the landings. And there's a saying that we have here that you take off for show, land for dough. In other words, you can have the greatest takeoff in the world, but if you scratch the landing, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I mean, I'm not saying who cares, but your score doesn't count.
Right? Yeah. Well, then what's the point?
If you scratch, what was the point?
Yeah.
All that horsepower, all that brilliance, all that timing.
There's something they taught me in elementary school.
What's that?
What goes up must come down.
You got to come down as well as you go up. And, you know, I got to get when we're talking about takeoffs, I got to give a shout out to Jaden Newman. I know she's out there watching. Has the best timing of any pilot on the series or anywhere.
Yeah,
she
I'd agree
knows
with that.
exactly when to pull that carbon cup.
Absolutely.
Okay, here comes another local boy in a Husky. And okay, very nice. Very nice. I need to talk with John. He's got to be a professional the way he flies that Husky. It's so smooth. These super, super smooth takeoffs. Super, super smooth landings.
Want to go to results and then
So,
you want a commercial?
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. You were what makes this all happen. And we're going to talk a little bit about the results now.
Check it out. Jeff Pohl, currently first place, 145. Sean Johnson, also in a Cessna 170, 156. Micah Lindstrom, 172. That's got to sting a little bit for Micah. John Luton in a Husky, 243. Adam Plunkett, he did plunk it down, 257 for 5th place. And currently in 6th place, Jeff Daly with 287.
Yo, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, the only, Colin Kaniva.
So we're going to see Colin Kaniva in the adventure class up next after a short break.
Let's take a short break and then the adventure class, and we're bringing out the Legend Cubs.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
What's up, everybody? Welcome, Av Geeks, Stole Freaks. It's been an exciting run. We're going to get even more exciting now. We got the adventure class coming up, and today, kind of unique, it's basically a formula class. So, legend.
And another legend, I just want to point out, we've got the founder right here of the National Stole Series, grinning like a Cheshire Cat, Mr. Doug Jackson. Doug, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming all the way from Dallas, Denton. Thanks. I know that's a drive, man. We really appreciate having you here. All righty, man. Well, here we go. It's the Legend Cubs.
The Legend Cubs. We got 3 of them. You talked about the golden shoes. They're going to be fighting for it, and there's someone new in the Legend Cub crowd. First in the front, though, Brian Steck, 2020 legend. 2022 legend behind him, a MOAC piloted by Colin Kaniva, the MOAC.
That's right.
Mother of all Cubs. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska. And then from Sulphur Springs, Texas, Luke Spohr, and a 2019 legend. So legend aircraft. obviously presenting the adventure class because they are one of our sponsors. We're excited to see them. We talked about those shoes. They're all competing for the shoes.
So
the other thing I wanted to point out, that's got a little bit of flair. The golden shoes a little bit flair. These guys just have flair everywhere they go. They're always flying around in a formation, echelon formation, overhead brakes. I joked yesterday, the world's slowest overhead brake to landing. But really excited to see what they can do here today.
Here comes a real top-notch pilot, Brian Steck. There we go.
Sub 75 feet. Right off the bat for Brian Steck.
So he's throwing the gauntlet down, and here comes his buddy Colin Caneva, who usually flies a Carbon Cub, but now he's in a MOAC.
I was talking to him last night. He said, I'm getting it dialed in. I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm getting it dialed in. It's starting to feel right. Anytime you switch aircraft types, there's a learning curve.
That's right. Here comes
Let's go, Colin. Oh, sub 50 feet. Sub 50 feet for Colin Caneva.
Everybody saw that. The gauntlet has been thrown down, ladies and gentlemen. The Colin Caneva with a really short takeoff. And there goes Lexi giving Luke the little kissy, and she's all set. Here comes Luke.
Luke's board.
Luke is in a...
Sub 50 feet again.
What is going on today?
It's going to be a battle of the lime green Cubs.
This is it. Now, the folks, to lay the story out here, you have got the veteran, Brian Steck. There's a 26-second video of him with 80,000 views already of him making an absolutely perfect STOL landing. This guy has all the experience in the world. He also competes in STOL drag. And Brian Steck is kind of the experienced vet out of these three aircraft, being followed up by his friend Colin Caneva in a brand new aircraft. He's not used to this aircraft yet. He's figuring it out. Colin also a competitor, a high-level competitor, both in STOL drag, traditional STOL. I mean, he could think he could fly anything. Then you got Luke, the youngster, who came into Baton Rouge about 3 weeks ago with Doug Jackson, who you just met. He was sitting in the right seat of a Cessna Citation. All right, making his way in the aviation industry, the young man. So you got a young gun, the transitioner, and Brian Steck. We won't call
young gun and Brian
the
Steck,
vet, the old vet. So here comes the old vet up front. He is high.
Number 221.
Boom, down and stopped.
Just stopped.
About a little bit more than 75 feet. Now, folks, you'll notice he came in at a high angle of attack. He didn't drag it in. Okay, so that's what you're looking to do. That was his first one. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. That was his safe landing.
And separately, I want to say his safe landing was only like a foot beyond the line.
Yeah. It was about 3 inches past the white line. So that was his safe landing, folks. Now we're going to start. He'll be bringing out the big guns in the next run. So here comes Colin Caneva from Nebraska. By the way,
old Green Plane.
The author of Old Green Plane. You can look up Old Green Plane online. So Colin had a great takeoff, but that little burp of power put him about 5 feet past Brian Steck. Just that little burp of power. Anytime you're putting that energy back into the aircraft, you're going to pay with distance. That's what it's going to cost you. So Colin Caneva also heavily figured in the Wayne, Nebraska fly-in that's coming up at the end of May. That's going to be awesome.
Here's Luke Spohr now with the gun racks, the gun cases on the wings.
They are always cooler with a gun rack. Oh, no. Thought he had it.
You saw the plane just stop flying.
Yeah, it just stopped flying. So he's not even going to stop and get a measurement. He's probably pretty mad right now, but that's okay. He's going to be all right.
So I want to talk about something interesting here. Even though two competitors, Brian Steck, Colin Caneva, pretty different takeoff rolls. They're pretty tight in the end. Colin Caneva currently in first place with 134, only 10 feet behind him, Brian Steck.
But you know what was funny was that 10 feet may as well be a mile. It may as well be a mile because he's still ahead of Brian Steck. He is still looking at those gold shoes. I wonder if they got the right size.
They're going to have to order them.
They may.
They're going to have to order them. You know, the
know.
Legend Cubs. Let's talk about that. These are different aircraft than you've seen thus far, right? We're starting to get.
There he goes with the tail up.
There's Brian
tail
Steck.
down.
Still not breaking that 50-foot barrier that we had from Colin Kaniva last round. What I was going to say is these aircraft, you're starting to get aircraft that are even more purpose-built just for this, for STOL. You got the leading-edge slats.
You've got everything that you need. You've got VGs, leading-edge slats, big, powerful Titan motors. And here comes Colin Kaniva. Oh! Okay.
Colin, I have an opinion on this. I don't know if you're going to agree. I think he was trying really hard. The plane was starting to fly.
Yes,
like
right on the
around
edge.
25 feet. It was couldn't quite get off the ground, but he was going for it. He knew he had a really good one in the books.
And that's why timing is so important, because he pulled just a fraction of a second too early. And he knows that. I mean, we're saying it. Luke Spohr.
Oh, another
nice one from Luke Spohr. Looks like about 55 feet.
It's going to be hard to beat those first sub 50-foot takeoffs.
You know what's funny, though, is that it's the combining. It's that you have to combine the takeoff and the landing. So when you have to combine that takeoff and landing, they've got to be together.
By the way, a little weather update. Not too much of a difference in the rest of it, but the wind has shifted. Now we're up to 15 knots, gusting 19 knots.
Okay.
So temperature 54 degrees, like I said, summer in Wisconsin, pressure at 30.25. And is Steve flying today? Josh Meyer wants to know, is Steve flying? Josh, you're going to have to tune in to find out. No, I'm just kidding. Steve's totally flying today.
All righty. Hold on just a second.
Here comes Brian Steck. Got it touchdown real nice. A little bit of brake fade. When we measure from the furthest away main. So a little bit of turn there, a little bit of pivot. So that upfield wheel is the one that we grab from. Right. Now, next in line, Colin Kaniva. By the way, big improvement there for Brian Steck. Run 2, 110. 110 feet combined.
So, Brian's in the lead with Colin right behind him.
Literally.
So this is a shootout. This is a shootout.
Well, it's a good thing Luke brought those gun cases.
Yeah, that's right.
You like that one?
Oh,
Here's
look at
Colin.
it coming down. Okay. He got
heavy on the brakes. Come on, Colin.
Heavy on the brakes. Wait a minute. Takeoff 1, takeoff 2. Let's see where it comes out. We're waiting for the scores to come in. We're fans just as much as anybody else. We're all Ryan and I are sitting here on the edges of our seats waiting for the numbers to come back into the Excel spreadsheet.
So that one was a little bit further back than the first one. He had 134 was the opening shot from Colin. Now he's at 159. Honestly, it feels like he gave that up just on his accuracy with the line.
That's right. So now he's got to get that power out, Luke, and get that nose up. Actually, that looked really, really good.
Here we go. Locking him up.
Tell you, that was a smooth landing. Now, it's worth mentioning, I've been to the factory there in Sulphur Springs, Texas. These airframes can take an incredible amount of abuse. I mean, you can really slam them around. And with those Acme Aero
Let's
shots
cheer for them, folks. Let's cheer for them as they taxi by.
Brian Steck in the 3 Legend Cub shootout. These airframes are designed to take just an incredible amount of abuse and impact. So when you see them coming in and they alight like a bird upon a branch, trust me, the plane is okay. The plane is all right.
Now, I want to say, you said a shootout. Luke Spohr, first run DQ.
What?
Now he's nipping at Colin Kaniva's heels, 4 feet behind him.
4 feet behind him. 4 feet is not much.
That's a sneeze. Here's Brian Steck.
Nice. Excellent. Great takeoff by Brian Steck, just in the low 50s. And you know, he picked it up and he kind of slogged around in ground effect for a minute, which is what you're supposed to do. Lexi bringing Colin online. And then here we go, tail up. You know what?
Oh, it's a close one
He
again.
got him. He got him.
They're calling that like 49-ish.
Yeah, he got him. He got him on that one. That's 49 feet on the takeoff. Now he's got to. Now here's the trick. He's got to pair that much like you pair a wine with a steak with a good landing. He's got to have a good landing.
That sounded a little bougie.
That takeoff. It was
that sounded a little bougie.
You're learning.
Here's Luke Spore.
Come on, Luke.
Oh!
And look at Luke. Not to be denied, not to be left out of the conversation. Luke Spore coming in at a 55-foot takeoff. So, as I've said before, you take off for show, you land for dough. These three guys are coming in. They're at 55, just lower 50s. They're mere feet apart, right? So when they come in and land, if Luke comes in and just really plants it, he could win.
He could win.
He could walk off with it.
I mean, we're talking about an 18-foot difference.
That's right.
Front to back.
18-foot difference from 1, 2, and 3. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. The Legend Cubs really showing that Darren and Randy have really built a stable of really good pilots. And here comes Brian.
Right on the line. She says scratch.
We got a scratch on that one.
Lexi says scratch.
You can hear him hit that throttle in disgust. And you know what's funny,
Let's look
folks?
at the replay here.
You might want to go. I know you're here watching it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Not by much, though. Not by much. You want to go look at the broadcast later. They'll show the pilots' faces. They'll zoom in and show the pilots' faces, and you can see the emotion and the competitiveness and determination that these guys have got. You know,
I was going to mention before, Colin, when he taxied by, normally he's like Mr. Fist Pump.
Sure.
Mr. like, Shaka, let's go. Focused.
Completely
Super
focused. These are competitors. They are competitors. And look, they're all friends. I mean, they all fly together and hang out together and put their hang their planes together. But when they're out here, it's like Mario Kart. There's no love.
He's got to drop it in. He's got to drop it in. He's diving for it a little bit. There we go.
Came in a little high and fast.
A little bit off to runway right as well there for
Colin.
Colin.
Get to go shoes with that one, but that's okay. That's still outstanding. I want to point out that any one of these three could probably land on a helipad pretty easily.
Well, we've seen. Let's actually check.
So
that particular helipad.
So when we're talking
one of them has done it.
One of them is here comes Luke. Oh
whoa,
no,
that's gonna cost him.
That's it.
Yeah.
He caught a bad gust, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the National STOL Series, we're all about safety, and you can always go around. That is a saying they say. If you're coming in and you catch a gust, and you think that gust is going to put you or any of the spectators, cameramen, line judges in danger, you do what you got to do. You hit the gas and you go around. If ever you feel like, these are the kind of things where we would put the safety of the pilots or anybody observing anything but first. You always have that option to go around, which is one of the reasons, that National STOL has such a great safety record. We always have great safety briefings from Jerry and John, and we always want to be careful. And so we're going and putting one of the cameras back up. When Luke throttled up there, there was so much power coming out of that Legend Cub, it blew over one of the cameras. So
everyone give a round of applause for the gentleman fixing the camera.
That's good. Let's give it up. We gotta keep our stuff right. So when Luke was coming in, if he caught a gust he didn't like and he just didn't like the feel of it, the right thing to do is to hit the throttle. There's even a little song. You can always go around. You can always go around.
That one counts. That last one counted just landing the land, right? Even though he touched. Okay.
He didn't touch. He never touched the ground. That was a go-round. And, the wind can be a fickle mistress.
And a scratch. The scratch on this last one here. I mean, you got to believe that after that smart decision go-around, but he's a little less focused in this moment.
But also,
not super pleased about that.
You'll notice, though, that when he came in, he was dragging it in, which makes you very susceptible to gusts. Dragging it in makes you more susceptible to gusts than bringing it in at a high angle of attack.
So let's talk about the standings now then. In the adventure class, all legend aircraft, 2 of them MOACs. Brian Steck, best run of a combined score of 110 feet. So let's talk about what that means. Best takeoff, 51 feet. Best landing, 57. Colin Kneva behind him with the best takeoff of 48 feet and the best landing of 80. So Colin's got to dial in those landings a little bit, still for a total of 134. Right behind him, Luke Spohr with the best takeoff so far of the heat. Luke Spohr with 43 feet takeoff and a 2019 legend. 46-foot landing, 138-foot best run for Luke Spohr.
So a lot of folks been wearing rubber boots out here, and I have been to many fly-ins and competed at many National STOL events where I needed my rubber shrimp boots, my white shrimp boots, but you don't fly with your white shrimp boots. And so when you saw
Justin Tisdale.
When you saw Justin Tisdale come by, he chucked his rubber boots out of the airplane, both saving him some weight, and now he's.
Let's talk about the lineup for this class. We're in the sport class now, folks. Sport class for National STOL this season here at Swamp STOL is Rick Boardman in a Cub Crafters Super Sport. Christian Griwan, seen him around the block a few times, just Aircraft Super STOL. And Justin Tisdale, the man with the boots, Zenith 750 STOL. I talked to Justin last night, so he is not competing in the rookie class, but this is his first competition.
That's right.
And he had his first practice yesterday, and he walked back and he said, man, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that in my life. He was, I don't want to say he was shaking, but he said he was like vibrating with excitement.
It's
like
something.
He was really excited, really feeling it. Justin built that Zenith. Like a year. It took like a year to build it. And he said that his goal this year is to make every single National STOL competition, assuming he can pass it with weather.
That is a lot of flying.
That's a lot of flying and a lot of dedication for a new athlete. Here's Rick Boardman on the line. He's got that 2015 Cub Crafters Carbon Cub, powered by a Titan 340, 31-inch Alaskan Bush wheels.
Coming up, very nice.
Really great for Rick Boardman there. You know, it's interesting talking to Justin yesterday. Josh yesterday. Josh was on the mic with me yesterday. He was talking about how, for Rick, that belly pod doesn't work the way you think it does. You think it would be extra drag. It actually improves things. Something about the aerodynamics of it.
Huh.
Here's Christian now in the Super STOL.
Looking good.
That is
textbook.
Like effortless.
It was effortless.
Just totally effortless.
He just picked the tail up, got his speed up, pulled back on the stick, and just up he went. No problem.
Here's Justin Tisdale now, the Mustache Flyer.
That's right. You can look him up at Mustache Flyer. And he keeps everybody up when he makes his cross countries to come to events. He keeps everybody, in the know about what he's doing.
Powered by a Viking engine.
That's
a little different.
Right.
Automotive conversion engine.
Jan was not able to make it to this one. Jan Eggenfeller, the owner of Viking Engines, and his lovely wife were not able to make it to Swamp STOL. But the Viking engines are just coming out. They'll be at Sun and Fun if you want to have a look at them.
Sport class, by the way, these are your Carbon Cubs, your Rans, your Super Legends, your Taylor Crafts, Dakota Super 18s, some Rans aircraft like the S-12, Just Aircraft Highlander, all be in this class. Basically, we've got a max gross weight up to 1320 here.
That's
so
right.
There's a weight differentiation between here and the adventure class.
That's right.
And that weight differentiation also separates them a little bit in performance, which is why they've been grouped together that way.
Exactly. And that's how these new classes got built. So it's going to be an adjustment this year because, we're all so used to the old classes. But the new classes, it's going to be an adjustment, but then we'll get used to them, and then we'll start seeing who is able to bring out the best. We're going to talk about that belly pod some more in a minute.
Dropped it in real good.
That.
Heavy
What
on the brakes.
Great drop. That is a great drop at the line.
Insane for number 94, Rick Boardman there.
Marvelous.
Rick Belly Pod Boardman.
So the belly pod actually helps the aircraft fly faster.
Yes, so my understanding is the way the aerodynamics work on it is not a drag penalty. It's actually an efficiency gain because of something about like lifting body effect or something like that. I don't know. I should go to aircraft engineering school and learn more about that.
Well, it would. So lifting body, so that the pod underneath helps create lift on the aircraft. I am curious, and I'm going to look this up.
Somebody Google it. Here's Christian Griwan. Just brakes totally locked up, stick full
nice,
back.
Christian.
Nice.
Very nice. And you see those big old shocks coming off of that Super STOL. Once again, folks, these airframes can take a lot more abuse than you're seeing them take now. Everybody says, oh, man, they're just slamming their aircraft around. No, ladies and gentlemen, trust me. If my aircraft could survive me as a student pilot, it can survive anything. Because I came down on... Oh, look at there. We're hearing from Trevor
Otto. Family are enjoying the show from chilly Wisconsin.
Well, Trevor, I don't mind telling you, it's chilly down here, too. So, you're not missing anything down here, and it's way colder than we're used to.
A lot of fun nose art, by the way, on Rick Boardman's aircraft. And if you can see,
look
here
at Justin
comes Justin now.
First
competitive landing.
So this is what we talked about with dragging it in. Is it front wheel turning backwards? It is. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. I've got a plan. What if you put a tiny electric motor in the front wheel? And then you started it spinning backwards before the aircraft landed so that the kinetic energy in the front nose wheel would dig in. So we're glad to hear from Trevor Otto, folks. Trevor Otto is a competitor in the National STOL Series. He flies a Maul. And, of course, the nice thing about a Maul is it's a true four-seater. You can take your family and go to a competition and compete at the competition in the plane you travel to the competition in, which is awesome. Great to hear from you, Trevor. Great to know you're watching.
Now here's Justin.
Here comes Justin.
Justin's like,
right,
yeah,
buddy.
no, man, take it. It was a good win.
It is what it is, baby.
I talked to him yesterday, and I was like, hey, what's your plan for the season? He's like, well, you're going to see me slowly but surely dial this in. Here's Rick Boardman now on the takeoff. Whoa, right? Just over 50 feet for Rick Boardman there.
That was awesome.
Christian Griwan on the line. Corey Robin in the chat now, just joining. Huge fan. Corey, I'm a huge fan of yours. Thank you so much for saying hello.
Good to hear from Corey. And here comes the Super STOL. Lexi's got him online. Waiting for the air boss to release him. There he goes.
Definitely off sub 125.
Listen to that motor. I got to find out what kind of motor he's got in there. That thing sounds beautiful.
I want to put this in perspective, too. Like, I fly a 172. I don't think I'm ever off sub 500 feet. Like, this is like real. Like, everyone's making this look really easy today.
I fly a 172 in competition and have taken off in 145 feet.
Bonkers.
There you go. Stock. Here he comes. There he goes. See, he's getting it dialed in. That's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about. Now, when he really gets it dialed in, you're going to see him pull back with authority. Like, he's going to know. He's going to make that decision. He's going to say, I've got enough forward airspeed. I have enough speed to get this aircraft off the ground. And he's going to pull back.
Well, Justin, I mean, like I said he was dialing it in. So he's like, I'm going to be faster, a.k.a. safer.
That's right.
Which is, speed is safety in some aircraft, right?
Sure.
So we need to dial those speeds back as he gets more and more comfortable, and I think that's great. He just wants to be earning points. So that's why he's here today, as he learns and learns and learns. So he's going to make the trip out to Outlaw in a month, and that's going to be a long trip in a plane that can't go 70 miles an hour.
It's going to take him a minute. You're going to grow a long hair getting out to Arizona like that.
Here's Rick Boardman again.
Here comes Rick.
Holding it off. Nice.
High. Look at this.
Not afraid to drop it down.
This guy is not afraid to put that frame to the test. That is outstanding.
76-foot-ish, 78. I don't know. We'll see.
What an outstanding performance. That is great.
I think Chris has a 915.
He's got a 915 in there. Here he comes.
Christian Greenwan,
Greenwan in his Super
915 in
Stol.
that.
But what I'm saying, folks, is listen to this 915 on this Super Stol. It sounds great. It sounds smooth. The motor doesn't sound like it's struggling. This is a well-balanced motor and plane combination. They get that power out. Down he is. He's flexing those shocks. What a great job. What a great job. You can see the heat coming out from the bottom of that cowling. I just love the sound of the motor, man. It just yeah.
Okay, where's Justin now? There he is, high and to your left. And I'm going to see if I can flag down our friend from Wild West Aircraft.
So, Josh, come over here for a
Josh,
second.
come here for a second, Josh.
So
we got to hop you on the mic. We need you to re-explain the Rick Boardman belly pod
before
thing.
he does any of that.
No, we don't know. We don't care about what he's from and what his hat is or where. No, we don't care about any of that.
Can we get the camera turned on for a second? Because you really need to see this. Y'all really need to see this. I don't know. I happen to know for a fact that this is not Josh's safety vest. I'm just saying.
You think I borrowed it?
I do think
you don't think I'm the
borrowed
Stol Queen?
Take a break. Here's Justin.
Here comes Justin.
Okay, good, solid
Look
landing.
at that, all 3 tires down. That
Got to
plane
get
is
on those
done
brakes.
flying.
They're locking up. He's getting it dialed in. He's getting used to it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Okay, now we brought you over here because yesterday you told me a bunch of science about Rick Boardman's belly pod, and I did not explain it well. And since you walked by, I'm going to victimize you again and have you explain.
Do you realize how long ago that was?
That was yesterday.
I know. That was
that was a long time.
Do you know how you learn stuff in school and then you forget it?
Totally
years
forgotten.
later? Well, that works for me in
That's
24
what happened
hours.
to me.
Yes. So on Rick's belly pod, it actually increases his cruise speed, believe it or not. Where you think it would slow it down, you think it'd make him heavier. It doesn't actually. It kind of speeds him up. So sometimes when you have air, you think that you're going to put something on an airplane that does a certain thing. The air does something opposite because there's some other factor that it affected.
Didn't harm him at all there.
That's right. That's right. So
wow.
you notice Rick's gear is sitting right in front of that belly pod, and that belly pod might be changing the way the air goes around that gear because the gear is draggy. Maybe that belly pod is affecting the air in front of that gear, making that difference.
So maybe not lifting body, which I made up.
There is a possibility of a lifting body there. We'll give you that.
Christian Greenwan off right around 100 feet.
So once again, no, that's a terror. So, you know, you're dad too, right? No,
Yeah, we were talking to the guy in our
Tom
ear. He just said the only lifting body we have in the competition is Warren Grobelar.
Yeah, talking about you, Warren.
But
yeah, let's turn to him and ask him how he feels about that.
But don't. Yeah.
Here's Justin off the line now. Okay,
we're bringing Tom into the official bad dad joke.
So
club.
the short version of it with the belly pod is hashtag aerodynamics.
Aerodynamics. It's doing something with the aerodynamics on that gear and probably in front of it, affecting that gear and making that gear less draggy, sitting right in front of it. And, you know, many times with props, for example, you'll put a prop on or you put a cowling on and you think the air is coming directly into that engine. In many cases, if you put flags inside of that engine cowl, you'll see the air go 180 degrees backwards and fly towards the...
Let's go back then. We were talking a little bit about day one because every one of these events is a bit of an adventure for all the competitors and all the people who come and help put it on. Just countless people that put this event on. And so day one, I think we have a video package we can roll that shows a little bit about how day one kicked off earlier this week.
We do, and I want to bring this up. This is something that's really important to all of us in National STOL. We come from adventure flying, right? We come from backcountry playgrounds, and we found that there was an opportunity to take that to the public at an airport like this. But that doesn't mean that the adventure flying stopped, right? A bunch of our pilots got together and they said, let's go fly to a beach that's never been flown to before. Check it out, guys. Roll the tape for the pilots adventuring together.
We now have got Clayton flying in the 180.
And so the number in the window has changed for those with eagle eyes.
That's right. And we've got Piper Zilla in the background going to go get some fuel. And he's going to throttle this thing up one more time.
Clayton Stansel on the roll, and he's off.
There he goes, and here comes Katie Wado. Lexi's got her on the line in a 1949 Clipper. I'd compete with my dogs in the plane. I think that would be kind of fun.
I don't know if that would be fun. What
Her
if they
dogs
bark
have
at
seen
you?
everything.
She's dancing in the cockpit right now.
Those dogs are so chill. Those dogs are so chill. They have seen everything. They've been flying with Katie forever. So you know if those dogs are used to flying with Katie, they know what a slip is.
Yeah, they got to be used to slips by now.
Not bad.
You can see the professional ag pilot in Katie's flying always.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And she will fly in conditions the rest of us are just, no way.
Here's Micah Lindstrom on the line with that MT propeller.
There he goes. About an 85-foot takeoff. Not bad at all from Micah Lindstrom.
If you remember back to this morning when the 170s started flying, I did a lot of yelling.
You got very animated.
It was
you were very
really
excited,
exciting.
Ryan. You were incredibly pumped up.
Yeah, it was something else.
And
I don't think I've seen flying like that ever.
So let's talk about what makes it exciting for Matt. Okay, what makes it exciting for me?
Yeah, let's talk about you.
When we have, but hear me out.
I'm
the
hearing
planes
you.
are very close, and in that class, the 170s, all the planes were close.
Yeah, it's like a formula class.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a
really
formula
about the
class.
pilot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really and truly about the pilot. All right, come on, Clayton.
She says it's good.
It's good. Oh, that's smooth. That guy flies smooth. He flies for a living, folks. So what do you expect? But so, yeah, what do you do when you have so many different aircraft? Like when we've got Legend Cub out there and it's 1, 2, 3 Legend Cubs, there's minor differences. The Legend Cub is one of the most customizable aircraft you can buy. You go up there and talk to Darren and figure out what you want. There comes Katie with a bounce.
Katie with a nice bounce, getting that stick back. Don't forget that stick back, not only does it keep the tail down, it also provides aerodynamic braking, helps slow it down, right?
You want to expose the bottom of that wing. But, so that's why the Legend Cub shootout was so exciting. Because you had 3 planes that were roughly the same, all right, and 3 very top-notch pilots. And you knew you were going to see some really good competition. And I think that's what the new classes, I think that's the goal of the new classes in the National STOL Series. I think the new classes gets everybody kind of closer to their somebody that's closest to their competition level. Here comes Micah, dropping the tail, getting that nose up, but
scratch for Micah.
Well, shoot.
I want to go back to the scores real quick for the touring class because we've got Clayton, who's finishing out the touring class. Remember, he's sharing that aircraft with Don.
That's right.
And everybody has improved their scores in the touring class.
That's not really all that surprising, don't you think?
I mean, look at Brandon Korn now. His best this morning was 333, and that felt insane in a Cessna 205. And his best run this afternoon, 298. That's that's bonkers. I've been saying bonkers a lot today. Here's Clayton Stansel.
Here's Clayton coming up.
And he's off. Daniel DeSalvo, excellent production. Thanks for making this live. Standing by to fly in JFK wishing I was at Swamp STOL. Daniel, we wish you were here as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the compliment. Actually, I sent Daniel $20 in the mail like 2 weeks ago, so we could say that. So.
Oh, okay.
It's a very expensive compliment.
$20? I was about to say, wow.
Yeah.
I'd have done it for $5.
Oh, I remember that.
There goes Katie Wado in her 1949 Clipper.
And right up to the
Followed
line,
up.
Michael Lindstrom here. You can tell it's him instead of one of his other competitors because he's got more black on the nose. Got that.
That's right.
McFarlane Aviation MT prop getting ready to whistle its way back in a few minutes.
Nice.
The other folks we have to talk about and thank are our friends over at FlightHelmet.com. Are you familiar with FlightHelmet.com, Matt?
I am. And I am also familiar with the fact that helmets are about to become required equipment on all National STOL Series events. They aren't yet.
And we're
but
giving
stay
everyone
tuned.
some time to get the right helmet, get it
That's
fit
right.
FlightHelmet.com. They specialize in the sales and service of flight helmets and the flight helmet comms equipment. You got to have the marriage of the two. Oh, Piperzilla's #1 fan in social. We love Piperzilla. Heart emoji. That's our favorite plane. Piperzilla for the win. Way to fly that Cherokee, Jeff. Piperzilla's #1 fan. Great to have you in the stream here.
Come on,
Here's Clayton
Clayton.
Stansel now. Coming in a little hot compared to his previous approaches.
Had a little more speed in there that time. But he's got it. He's got it, and he's got his score in the books. I was not aware that Piperzilla had a fan club
Well, maybe I can be the #2 fan.
online. I tell you what. And here comes Katie, coming in a little high, trying to get that power out. Down she goes.
Got those tires locked up. Something interesting, I keep thinking about this, right? So when I fly my 172, I've got toe brakes.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure all the aircraft here today have toe brakes. I know sometimes when we have like J3 Cubs and some of those lighter, older planes, they have heel brakes. And that's a little tricky. But I'm thinking about the dexterity. This is going to sound really nerdy, but the dexterity required to like modulate those brakes really sensitively feels hard to me. Because for me, I feel like I'm kind of always just like on, off when I fly.
Right.
But you got to like really be able to modulate that pressure. Here's Micah hovering it in.
Because there is no ABS on these brakes. You can't just stomp on them and forget about it like some kind of modern brake.
He's over the line.
He's over the
Thumbs
line.
up from the
Lexi
line
says
jump.
good.
Sub 75-foot landing on
There
a
you
170 again. That's what got me amped up this morning.
That's what he's looking for. That is precisely what he's looking for. So that's a helicopter pad, right?
Yeah, that's a helicopter pad.
That's a
yeah, Michael
helicopter
Lindstrom.
pad.
So, you know, his best landing. Let me dig into the stats here for you. His best landing was 123. Remember this morning, Micah scratched 2 out of the 3.
That's right.
So when we talk a lot about any pilot can scratch and how that can change a pilot's day, right? We used to say, don't worry. Like Steve Henry even scratches sometimes.
Yeah.
And we saw that this morning.
Sure.
Micah now putting down aggressively competitive numbers, you know, that he wasn't able to do this morning because of the scratches.
Yeah, see, and so that's why you always on your first one you just get one in the books. If you land 10 feet long, 15 feet long, who cares? Okay, get one in the books, get that mental pressure off, and then when that mental pressure is gone, then you can really start dialing it in the second and third rounds. Oh, here comes John. Look at that. And here comes stickers, John Young with Arkansas written underneath his wing. So I'll be going up to Arkansas here in about 6 months and announcing up in the backwoods of Arkansas at the Birds Adventure Center. It's going to be a great time up there. You know, if you get some time off, you ought to come up and see it. Arkansas is a great flying competition. It's completely different from traditional STOL, but the same. A lot of the same skills that the pilots are using here, they build on these skills, and then they take these skills up into the backwoods in the mountains of Arkansas where they compete. We got somebody on departure here. I thought it might be my buddy Joel Dobson, but it's not. And here comes Clayton for his last run.
Waiting for it to come off there a little bit.
A 2-bounce departure. So I'll be seeing a plane almost exactly like that in about a week at Sun and Fun, being flown by Mr. Warren Grobelar. It's still in the shop right now. He's having some improvements made to it, but it has lime green accents on his 180, but it's still silver. And here comes Katie Wado. Tail up, tail down,
and she's off, hitting some of those chunks of sod.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, I really wouldn't worry about that sod. That sod's going to get grown over so fast.
I'm worrying about the sod a lot, Matt.
I would imagine up in Illinois, is it, Ryan, or Michigan? Ryan, you from Illinois?
I'm from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Fighting words. Here's Micah now.
Nice.
Looked like about somewhere between 70 and 80 feet.
Micah getting aggressive, trying to show off for his mentor, Jeff Pohl here. Trying to show off. I don't think Jeff will be flying anymore today. I think he feels that he wants to just let his score stay. Doesn't want to give Micah the chance to come up here and whoop him, because then he'd have to hear about it all the way back to Minnesota. So, yeah, I'm sure in Wisconsin that the grass does not grow like it grows. I mean, in the summertime, I cut my grass every week.
I cut my grass sometimes twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah. Just once. It's like once or twice a year, got to cut twice a week.
Really?
July, yeah. Like July and August, yeah.
No, imagine.
I got a guy for that, though.
Imagine 4 months like that. I got a guy for that, too, but they both went to college.
Yeah, my guy did, too.
My guy went to college, and now I'm having to do it myself. I mean, life is just unfair.
Here's is it Clayton? Clayton Stansel coming in. How beautiful 180.
I know, and look at how
just so controlled.
I know.
He's got to get that stick back. There we go. Digging up, man. We are digging up that specific part of the runway really well.
Like Dwayne's listening, man. Don't say that.
Well, he knows it's on TV. It's on TV, Matt. Everyone knows we're digging up the runway a little bit. Here we go. Katie Wado's going to do her best to leave some ruts
and
with a scratch for Katie.
Oh, she probably knows that's a scratch too. She won't be wearing those brakes out too hard to slow down, but she's still under 275. That's still landing in less than a football field.
That's incredible. You know what else is incredible?
What?
Rugged Radios.
They are.
Yeah, Rugged Radios, another sponsor. Their background in off-roading and motorsport racing, but we use them here for all our air bosses, all our line judges, all the staff that communicate, keep everyone at National STOL running at these events. It's all Rugged Radios. So thank you so much to Rugged Radios for their support. Also, USA Trailers Direct. You've been talking a lot about this trailer. I feel like you're going to buy one. They provided this production trailer for us. So grateful for that. Got to warm up a little bit in there. Sorry, everyone in the crowd, that we couldn't fit you all in there with me. But I was in there a little bit. So luxurious. Micah now. Nice.
Very nice. You know what? I gotta get a picture of this. Yeah, so for you folks online right now, I'm being a bad announcer. I'm getting some pictures.
That's okay.
Some pictures for the...
You got to do it for the gram, bro. Got to do it for the gram. Let's talk about some other folks that have helped us do this. Sarasota Avionics, got to talk about them. They provide a lot of the prize packages for National STOL Avionics and Maintenance Shop. You kind of guess maybe where they're from.
Sarasota?
Sarasota.
Oh,
that's
well,
right.
There we have.
Yeah, so we appreciate their support. And Flight Outfitters, you know, you got the jacket on, that really warm jacket.
I'm over here all nice and cozy in my jacket.
Flight Outfitters really helping us bring this together, and keep your eyes peeled. If you look at that, you can see some previews. Eric and Tom are wearing some Flight Outfitters. Really exciting.
There we go.
Very
there we
warm.
Go.
Is it warm, Eric? You said 2 thumbs up, it's warm. So Flight Outfitters really helping us out. Here's the finals for Bush class. Jeff Pohl in the front. Best run of the day, 145. Micah Lindstrom, 151. Sean Johnson, 156. You were talking about that tight competition. There it is.
Exactly, see?
Now we got some more planes who are going to come in a second in the Bush class. I think that's Jeff Daly at the front right there. The one we confused for Micah.
Exactly.
Because it's basically the same plane. He was razzing him for not running an empty prop, but he's got a really good prop on that thing, too.
I could see razzing somebody for not running an empty prop.
Well, he's got a venerable and well-regarded Hartzell, I believe, on that.
That is very well regarded, but it's not an MT. Look, when all of the winners in the heavy class are running MTs, that kind of makes you go, what's going on there? So he's on the line. Once again, folks, if you're watching on TV, you can see that the wheels are just maybe a little bit forward. That's okay.
Just trying to get into the wind, the right angle.
You know, if the pilot is too far forward, if they didn't stop, well, that's a 6-inch penalty on the pilot. You know, that'll be all right. That won't affect the scoring all that much.
Justin Tisdale in the field said, Corey, Robin, man, I appreciate it. We got to get together soon. Yuma is next, and he'll be in the area. I'm guessing they're having a little bit of a love fest in the social chats.
You know,
but Justin, the competitor here, he should be getting ready to go. Here we go. Jeff Daly off the line in his Cessna 170 Alpha model from 1951, all the way from Arthur, Nebraska. That was a nice one. Can't complain.
And here comes John.
Now it's time for the flight of the Huskies.
So let me tell you about John Luton, coming down all the way from Montana to compete. This is his first competition. He didn't have really crazy expectations. He said, I'm gonna come down to compete, see what happens. He came in 4th, finished in the top half of the field. That's pretty impressive.
Sub 100-foot takeoff there, easy, and a Husky for him. Here comes stickers. Oh, Heath. Announcers are doing great. Can't wait to see this live in Wayne, Nebraska. Heath, thank you. I'm doing so great I can't speak. I'm so flattered, Heath. Thank you, Heath.
I'll tell you. Here comes John Young, popping that tail up. Very nice. Very good. Very good takeoff for John Young.
Do you think...
I am really mad that I'm going to miss Wayne, Nebraska. I'm really kind of down in the mouth about it. Got my little bottom lip poked out. But family event, can't be missed.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Big deal. Big deal. We're going to have a great big family wedding. I have 26 first cousins.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Speaking about a lot, here's Adam Plunkett. I keep making that same silly transition all day. Speaking of this random thing, here's another random thing. Gonna connect them together. That's pro announcing that Heath in social really liked.
So, here we go. Let's talk about Wayne, Nebraska a little bit. The National STOL Series will be there along with STOL Drag. This will be the first time that STOL Drag and National STOL have been at the same event. So that's kind of cool. You get a twofer. If you go to Wayne, Nebraska, you'll get a twofer for your pleasure. And it's just really exciting. And that's the stomping grounds of Colin Caneva, who's here today flying the Legend Cub, chasing after Brian Steck. Don't worry, Colin. A lot of people chase Brian Steck. He's used to it.
We are having too much fun this afternoon, Matt.
I'm getting a little spicy in here.
We are professionals.
I've been cold so long, man. I'm getting, kind of old and grumpy, and just, but you got to watch that because sometimes the truth comes out.
Yeah, well,
we're
here to win.
Brian Steck, one of those great Legend Cub pilots, man, one of the nicest, humblest fellas you ever want to meet. But we do kind of pick on him because he is number one. When you're number one, we get to razz on you a little bit. So here he comes with that 170 Alpha model. He'll start picking the nose up right about up, a little more. What do you say, Lexi? What is it? Thumbs up. Thumbs up from the judge. All right.
On the edge there.
I know. I was gasping. If that's not gasp worthy, I don't know what is. Yeah, that was definitely gasp worthy. He had it just a few inches off the ground coming into the line. You might not have been able to hear the crowd, but I know you could heard me, gasping, clutching at my Mardi Gras beads.
Clutching at your Mardi Gras beads.
We don't clutch at pearls down here. We clutch our Mardi Gras beads.
You clutch at crawdad claws.
My ticker, here we go. He's scaring me half to death. I think he's going to scratch. And here comes John Young. Now, it looks like John's coming in for a drag in. He's not quite high enough to come in for a nice high angle of attack approach. But that's perfectly fine. That is a technique. What a lot of people like about the drag in, folks, is that you can dump your flaps right on the other side of the line. It's an easy way to win a spot landing contest where distance is not an issue. And there he goes.
And that was John Luton.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. John Luton. Got my Johns mixed up.
Huskies all piloted by John, basically.
Yep.
Yep.
How interesting. You're right. I never thought about it.
Not all of them. We got Adam Plunkett's in a Husky.
Okay.
David Weinstein was in a Husky earlier today, so just really half of them. Half of them flown by John, so.
Okay, half of our Huskies are flown by Johns.
Yeah. This is Stickers.
Is Stickers. John Young, my buddy, bringing it in, cutting the throttle.
Nice.
Down he goes.
There he goes. Stick full back.
See, once again.
Keeping it stopped.
Once again, what I'm saying is if he could get those wheels going backwards before he landed, or maybe hang a little anchor out by the tail.
The anchor, wheel, like a tail hook. Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing would be you are headed towards the dreaded social media argument about what happens if you put a jet on a treadmill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the treadmill. But what if we had a STOL competition on a treadmill? Then what would happen?
I don't know. My brain already hurts.
You know what I want to see, and I don't know what it would take to make this happen. STOL competition on an aircraft carrier.
We've been talking about that for years, and if anyone has a spare aircraft carrier...
All we need is an old aircraft carrier.
If anyone knows anyone at the White House, you can make a phone call. I'm sure they'd be happy to lend us one.
We just need an aircraft carrier. It's more than enough. I think we've proven here today, proof of concept.
Oh, yeah. We don't even need it. We just need part of it. Quarter of it? A quarter of an aircraft carrier?
We can even put a little safety factor in there.
Here's Adam Plunkett now.
Down he goes. You can see he's kind of touching on those brakes. They stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. Good job, Adam.
Beautiful Husky, by the way.
Isn't it? The paint job on that is just absolutely gorgeous. I love
That's a 2013. That's relatively new.
Yeah, I love that high gloss finish. I've been to the Husky factory, actually, but it was late at night, and I had just finished coming from the Loudoun County Fair. So there was, they wouldn't let me in. I'm going to have to talk with them about that at Sun and Fun. John doing very well in his very first STOL competition. Very impressive. And now here comes John Young.
Do you think if I gave him one of my stickers, he would put it on his plane?
I bet he would.
Do you think he would?
I bet he would. But where's the Swamp STOL sticker on there?
Oh, I see. I don't know.
We're going to have to talk about that.
I saw an experimental aircraft channel sticker on there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to support Brian Wallstrom and everything he's doing out at Calhoun County Airport. And Brian Wallstrom will probably be at Sun and Fun this year. I don't want to assume, but, I'm sure we'll see the experimental aircraft channel out there. That's a fun channel to watch, folks, if you're into experimental aircraft. Brian does a good job. He asks all the right questions.
And sometimes the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Here's Jeff Daly now off in the 170.
Like, how many horsepower is powering your experimental aircraft?
Well, my non-experimental aircraft.
Yeah.
There's an inside joke there, folks. We'll leave it alone at that.
I'm just saying.
All right. So, let's talk about Huskies. We got 3 of them out here right now. Aviat aircraft, the Husky aircraft, kind of one of the quintessential bush planes. And you can see why.
There we go, John. Nice.
Here comes Stickers to the line. John Young from Arkansas, right up on the edge.
I'm gonna have to talk with this man. He doesn't have a Swamp STOL sticker on his airplane. This is unacceptable. He's got to have a Swamp STOL sticker.
Yeah, I see a lot of. I like a lot of them. Like Clemens Aviation's on there. Legend.
You know, he's got a camera coming off of the back of that aircraft. Folks, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're saying, you know, what's this little stick that I see coming out of the back of a lot of the tail wheel assemblies? Those are cameras. Everybody's out here capturing, what do they call it? Content?
Content.
There we go. Here goes Adam Plunkett.
9-9 Mike Alpha on the roll. There he goes. Yeah, a little over 100 feet.
Just absolutely gorgeous.
So, Matt, I mean, we've been talking a lot about people that support us this week, and I wanted to talk about Flying Eyes for a second.
Absolutely. I didn't get to say what I wanted to about Flying Eyes on the first broadcast.
Well, now's your chance.
So, one of the features of Flying Eyes is that the help me out person who wears glasses all the time. The
temples.
The pieces of the glasses
pieces, yeah.
that goes back.
The arms, I think they're called temples.
Yeah, but that goes back into your headsets. Those are very thin, so they are designed to be worn with noise canceling headsets. Yeah. So if you've got a pair of those A20s or some other kind of headsets, and you want a nice sunglasses that will not defeat the noise canceling features of your headset, which I greatly appreciate, and I'm sure all pilots do, then what you need is a pair of Flying Eye sunglasses.
You can get prescriptions in there.
Get the little cool clip-ons. You know, I've seen Steve Henry's. Yeah, Steve Henry's got the cool clip-ons, you know. That just seems like you ought to say something cool and put them on. All right, here it comes. Outstanding. So here comes Jeff coming back in.
Yeah, Jeff
that was
Daly
his
coming in.
Second run, so we'll be seeing scores almost
his
immediately.
First run of the
5 for the day.
Yeah, and that
311.
Yeah, 311, which is more in line with what he had done earlier. His first and second run of the day were 287 and 315. Now he's back at 311. So there was run 4 was a little bit longer for him.
Well, if you can run 6 runs and only have 1 DQ, you've had a good day.
And if you can run 6 runs and have most of them pretty close.
Well, how about that, folks? I don't know if the cameras can see it. We got a yellow cub in the pattern.
Yeah, transient traffic. We're not talking to them, but we'll see what they do. Looks like our competitors are going to space it out.
Huh. This is interesting. So, folks, this happens on occasion. Occasionally, an airplane that is not part. There he goes.
Big
Come on, John. Bring it on in, buddy. And this guy's now turning into 3-1 and making his landing. No problems. Folks, that Cub has got more than enough runway there to get on down.
Frank, these play-by-play guys are suspect.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What was your first clue?
Are you saying we're shady? I don't know.
Suspect, I don't know.
We're
what are we up
definitely
to?
bougie. How are you? So, here comes John Young.
John Young and stickers. Getting that stopped up there somewhere around 190, let's call it. I bet. Nice, respectable score for John Young from Arkansas.
And we have a little housekeeping to do here. Everybody within the sound of my voice, if you know the man with the Cardinal that is currently stuck in the mud, not being the first thing that got stuck in the mud this weekend, Swamp STOL has truly lived up to its name this weekend, guys. But if you know the guy in the Cardinal, if he'll come up and get with Miss Anitra in the safety vest and the fuzzy thing on her hat, we have some volunteers with side-by-sides and straps who are ready to safely and carefully, gently, may I say lovingly, remove your plane from the mud so that you may take off later.
That is important. We were talking about that this morning, right? It
Yes.
really sunk in, really just a testament to how wet it was here yesterday.
So this is our first year dealing with rain, and this field is really unusual in that it's got some spots that are super, super nice and hard, and then every now and again you've just got this gumbo. Just
Adam
Very nice,
Plunkett, there we
Adam.
go. Got those wheels locked up.
Good job, Adam. So that's just one of the features of this airport. Every airport we go to in National STOL will be at 10 different airports this year. They all have their eccentricities. They all have their challenges. For this one, you know, you're hard as a rock right here. His tail wheel's not even digging in right here. And then you go 20 yards that way, and you're sticking a cardinal in the mud.
Well, as long as it's firm where the airplanes are, I think that's fine, right?
Well, yeah, that's
Except
the whole
for
point.
the airplane that's...
Except when you're trying to park your cardinal, and then
Well,
all of a sudden it's firm until it's not.
We'll get him taken care of.
Absolutely.
Everyone, don't forget to cheer for him. They can hear you in the cockpit, probably louder than you think they can. I wonder if he heard us talking about how we don't have stickers on his plane.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah,
No,
we got to do
that's
that.
happening. I'll give him to him tonight over some
Comes
rummarita.
Adam now,
He'll be all
taxiing
right.
by, all focused up. Such a beautiful aircraft.
Absolutely. Absolutely gorgeous airplane. You got Michael Lindstrom looking over your shoulder, trying to see how he did.
Well, I
looking
don't.
at his
Oh, there you are.
performance.
Yeah, Micah, you improved a lot.
So
There, you got like extra some odd
this
feet.
is a
I
feature
can't
of
math
the
right
National
now.
STOL Series. They will often post the scores live online, which is a wonderful thing to do, because when you're a pilot, you can go up and just crank up your phone and have a look and see how you did. There goes Mr. Brian Steck. Ladies and gentlemen, the vet. Old hand, riding for the brand of Legend Cub. And here comes Colin Knievel with a lot of mud on his tires. What happened there? Did he go
Notice me,
four-wheeling
Colin.
during the
There
halftime?
we go. Yeah, pay attention to me, please.
It looks like he went four-wheeling in the halftime, man. What happened there? And here comes Luke Spohr playing catch-up. You know, we need to get some helium balloons and stick them in the gun racks. And,
That might help a tiny bit.
you
Yeah,
know, maybe,
could help.
maybe that would help things.
So that's the adventure class. Today it's kind of unofficially the Legend aircraft class.
Yeah, Jeff getting off with a good one. You'll notice, folks, that he pops the aircraft off of the ground, and then before the aircraft sinks back down, he slowly starts letting the flaps out, keeps the power in, and flies away. So the idea there being, if you had to make a short takeoff somewhere, that you could get off the ground, just off the ground, and then gain your altitude after. All of these are skills that people might use. Here goes John. Off he goes, John Luton. Did you know that, interesting fact, John is a bronze sculptor,
No way.
an artist in bronze.
I hope he doesn't have any bronze in his airplane right now. That
Well,
would weigh it down a
probably
little
not.
bit.
Probably not. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we have just such an incredibly varied bunch of people here. There's John Young getting it up. You know, when you walk around and you start to meet and talk to and get to know these National STOL Series pilots, you realize that they're not all professional aviators. You know, I myself have been working in the oil and gas industry for a while. You know, we've all got different careers and all drawn together by aviation. Here comes Adam.
Grabbing that
Plunkett.
bite. Nice.
Nice. He gripped and ripped it. That was excellent.
Looked like 99 feet maybe there for,
And, you know,
for
he-
Adam Plunkett.
We don't do high-angle takeoffs here. We don't bother. But for Adam, that wasn't even a high-angle takeoff. And, of course, one of the things that a Husky or a Legend Cub or a Carbon Cub or one of these design-built backwoods aircraft does is they are able to gain altitude at an insane rate, like some of them over 2,000 feet a minute. And the whole point of that being, and you'll know this if you ever go to Arkansas, is that you might find yourself taking off from a riverbed in a valley, and you need to clear the mountaintops.
You need to get up over the top.
You've got to get up and over the mountaintops.
Sure.
And if you're flying backwoods on a hunting trip, well, you've got to get the plane and yourself up and over the mountaintop. And so that's the performance that's built into these fine aircraft that gets demonstrated at these competitions. Here comes Jeff coming in.
Right over the line.
Nice.
With some ooze. Got some ooze from the crowd on that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Very
some clapping.
nice.
Micah.
Very
Micah's
nice.
clapping.
You got to give it up.
Micah,
that was pretty good.
I missed who it was, Micah, but someone in the chat was really, they said you're their favorite. I don't know who it was.
It's probably because it's a B model.
Yeah. It's probably because it was a B model, yep. I wanted to talk about a little bit about, we were talking about personal bests earlier, and everyone should, when Adam comes back in, you should give him a round of applause. Adam Plunkett's personal best takeoff of the day was his last takeoff there. He went from, at longest, 118 feet, shortest 99 feet. So that's
broke 100 feet.
Broke 100 feet.
I can tell you, for Adam, that's a goal. That's a victory. He's proud of that.
Yeah.
He's very happy about that. I guarantee it.
Because he'll be sitting at a party with people who aren't aviators, and they'll be like, "Oh, an airplane! What can you do with that?" And he'll be like, "I took it off in less than 100 feet."
And they go, "Oh." And even non-aviators know that's pretty darn good.
That's a short distance.
That is a short distance. That is some good. That's way to go, guys. I'm telling you, that is just outstanding performance.
Here comes John Luton from Belgrade, Montana.
That was pretty. That was pretty. I don't care what the score is. That was gorgeous. Watching these aircraft perform like this and watching one come in with the power at zero, you can't even hear the motor. You know, expert pilot bringing it in, stalling it, letting the aircraft completely run out of energy before it hits the ground. That's gorgeous. That's poetry in motion. It is
like
engineering.
Airplanes.
It is art. It is skill. It is just why we're out here today. Outstanding. Good job, John. Great
Speaking
job.
of Johns,
Here
here's
comes
John Young.
another John. There's John Young coming in.
There we go. That's a nice smooth one.
I think the wind is better.
Is the wind better?
I think the wind must be better. If I'm looking at the feather flags, I think there's less gust. And so they're not having to fight the throttle and try and figure it out.
We got a few. I was just about to say, we got a few minutes while our next competitor comes in on final. There, it's Adam Plunkett coming in the Husky. But I was wondering if you want to talk.
Which is a great time to talk about.
Well, I wanted you to talk about our friends at BTR, at Dispatch.
Absolutely.
Folks that made Swamp STOL possible.
Absolutely. We cannot thank BTR Jet and Dispatch Aviation enough, both out of Baton Rouge. Dispatch Aviation, my own personal shop that I use for my certificated C-172 that I'll be flying to Sun and Fun next week. Just cannot say enough good things about the Dispatch shop. Larry and all of them back there. I think they have a dispatch mechanic out here today. But just great folks. They also sponsored breakfast for everybody this morning. Smith Thomas, thank you for that. We really did enjoy the breakfast. And huge thanks out to the local EAA who cooked that breakfast this morning. And cutting the throttle.
Good over the line for Adam Plunkett. Let's see how it is compared to the other landings he's done.
So, and I want to talk about BTR Jet, another one of our sponsors. David Weinstein from BTR Jet out here competing today in his Husky. But of course, they're flying business jet for your private aircraft travel. And I will say that their facility in Baton Rouge is one of the nicest facilities. It's got lots of glass. It's very airy. The staff there is all knowledgeable and wonderful to work with. Hope to see you next year.
Yeah.
At Swamp STOL Cat
4. I will be there.
4?
It's going to be so great. We'll see what happens with weather. I've had a really hot Swamp STOL. I've had a really cold Swamp STOL. Maybe next time it'll be Goldilocks and I'll be right in the middle.
That would just be wonderful.
We got to thank Yeah, we'll get snow next time is what they're saying in our ears. I wanted to thank our sponsors real quick because there's a lot of people that help us make this happen. Actually, before the sponsors, let's hop in line. The volunteers. There are tons of volunteers behind us who are making all of this happen, setting up tents, setting up flags, making sure people are safe behind us, all of that. So thank you so much for the volunteers and our sponsors. Let's go through them one last time. U.S. Trailers Direct, AirTech Coatings, Legend Aircraft, Lift Aviation, Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, Duke Propellers, FlightHelmet.com, Rugged Radios, Sarasota Avionics, Flight Outfitters, Flying Eyes, and then for Swamp STOL, BTR, McFarland Aviation and MT Propeller, Dispatch Aviation, the Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission, that's a lot of syllables, and the Coshada Tribe. All these people, including the volunteers, the staff at National STOL, made this all happen, and the most important person who made this happen was you at home and you in the stands. We can't thank you enough for being here and be a part of this, especially on what turned out to be a little breezy, a little chilly day in Jennings, Louisiana.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Check Matt out on the socials. He's always doing crazy stuff. Check me out on the socials. Super Arrow. Check me out. I've got an interview show on YouTube, all that stuff. You can see even more aviation nerd stuff between the two of us. We don't just only do this, we do other stuff. Hit us up. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Fly safe. We'll see you in a month.